Hello and welcome to the Comics Pals. This is our Saturday show where we talk about comics and movies and basically whatever we want to talk about. So it's going to be a fun one. Happy belated Thanksgiving. I am your host, Sean. I'm joined by Tyler,
Uh, Hi, hi. Are
Marco.
we all still in food comas right now? Besides Kel, you had tea or something, right? While you're in the UK.
I'll have you know, I made pumpkin chili for Thanksgiving.
Whoa, what is
Whoa,
Mm.
that?
okay.
It wasn't very good. It wasn't my
Oh,
normal recipe.
all
So,
right.
Okay,
Well,
all
you
right.
hyped
Well,
me up and brought me back down. Hello.
the effort was made.
Yeah, we're all here. And we we've got a lot to get into today. If you're watching us live, thank you so much. Say hello as you join us. You guys all have a good Thanksgiving. Get with the turkey.
With the
nope.
turkey. Get with the stuffing, dude. I
Yeah,
fuck
I'm
with stuffing so hard.
Marco. I'm with
Yeah.
you, man. Like a nice herb stuffing too, with like sage and
Oh,
rosemary in it. Like
yeah,
honestly,
dude.
turkey, mid.
Oh, same.
yeah.
Agreed.
It's
Yeah.
just a mid bird.
Wow.
Hard
I think
I
agreed.
think I think turkey is the thing we all come around, but we're there for the stuffing.
Yeah.
yeah.
The stuffing, the stuffing, the pies, and then I don't know if your family. Well, all right, my family's Hispanic, right? So like we do a side of
Oh, I
pernil
didn't know
too, because like you got to throw in some pernil. That's the shit that I die for.
That's the kale. That would be like a white people's ham.
Oh,
No,
okay.
well, hold on a second.
Okay.
It's like a deep fried ham though.
Yo, it's
Listen,
extra
you're
salty.
not turning me off.
Yeah, kale. If
It's-
you
Turkey.
ever, whenever you eventually find your ass back to the New York area,
Come through,
It
dude.
won't,
Come
it
through for
won't
dinner.
be Thanksgiving.
No,
Turkey is like the Batman of the Thanksgiving meal. The guy himself, not that interesting, but it's the people around him that really make it.
fair, fair.
Hmm.
You have your green arrow casserole on the side there. Yeah.
That's it. Yep.
Well, sounds like we all had a better Thanksgiving than someone who I need to wish well right now, which is Rey Mysterio. The wrestler Rey Mysterio was attacked
You should have told me this
in
bit. I
his
would have put the screenshots in here, Sean.
he was attacked in his home by
oh
none other
shit.
than his son Dominic and
Yeah.
Dominic's
His
new mommy, I mean girlfriend,
his goth
Rhea
mommy.
Ripley.
Yeah.
So I wish them well. If you're curious about what I'm talking about, go
Mhm.
to WWE Social.
Dude, I was
Where-
cracking up when I was watching that.
It's the greatest thing. I encourage everybody to go watch that. Hello, Sylv.
Sean, I thought you were gonna say
Hello.
like not a happy Thanksgiving for ex Disney CEO Bob Chapek. Ooh boy.
Also, not a happy Thanksgiving for him. Happy Thanksgiving, though, to all Disney adults because our Lord and Savior, Bob Iger, has returned to the throne. He
You
will
just
be.
said our. You just identified yourself as a Disney adult.
No, I didn't. He's going to be restoring Disney to its former glory and smiting all R-rated content from Disney Plus.
Hmm.
So looking forward to that. I don't know if that's actually going to happen, but I kind of think
He
it
only
will,
has a 2-year contract. They got him in there to groom someone else.
which they sorely needed because my man wasn't ready. My man was not ready. But this is not the podcast for that. So
You catch me
sorry.
on my other show.
Yeah.
It's
I don't
called
know.
Talking to myself in the mirror,
You do a show in the bathroom. Well,
just for myself.
I mean,
yeah, it's
Well,
my
yeah.
vocal warm ups.
yeah. So what are we going to be talking about today? Today we've got.
Oh,
Well, you know what, Kale? That's okay because I'm going to tell you. I got
oh,
you.
thank God.
Yes. We're going to be talking some Black Adam updates, including some numbers that aren't so kind to the movie that changed the hierarchy of DC. A couple of interesting notes I thought about Teen Titans over at DC Comics and where that's going. In our main topic, though, we're going to be talking about the future, or rather, the past now. Phase 4 is officially over, and I have been dying to have a an overarching conversation about Phase 4, what we think about it, and rank it. So we're going to be doing that in our main topic today. Pretty excited to do that. Before we get into all that, though, I do want to let you guys know how you can support the show. If you want to really, look, we are on the road to 1,000 subs on YouTube. That is like staring us in the face, right? And the only way we get there is with you guys. So if you have the ability to subscribe, if you haven't subscribed, that would be awesome. If you know people that you think might enjoy the show, tell them to sub. That would really help a lot. We get to 1,000, and that really changes things for us.
Yeah.
So yeah, that would be really great. Your support on that would be huge. The other great place to support us is Patreon. Patreon.com/thecomicspals. For as little as $3 a month, you can support your boys, and you get access to some pretty cool content. You can also get your name shouted out on the show, just like these fine folks. Thunderstruck, Rebecca Alejandro, The Night Stalker, Harris Nijinsky, Brian Demolisher Del Pozo, Random Rocio, Kefis the Incorruptible, The Great Destroyer, Hyper Viper 89, Momentum, Mike Elliott. We haven't seen him around in a while.
Yeah, dude. I was just thinking about that the other day.
Starcross, Catherine Stars,
Momentum.
and the Ultimate Fighter, Snake of Talons. Thank you all so much. Those are the people who are subscribed to us at the $10 or more tier. So thank you.
I gotta say, anytime the Night Stalker is mentioned, it makes me chuckle.
Well, you know what? It's not making those people chuckle that encounter
I know.
Harris
All the
in
women.
the night. I said people.
He sounds
Maybe-
like a cryptid.
Oh my God. No, he's a hero, remember?
Yeah,
He's a good guy.
Yeah.
And he is a good guy. Thank you, Harris, for being a good guy. I'm thankful for you. What are you guys thankful for?
You?
Yeah, wow, I'm thankful for you.
Wow,
Don't lie to
thankful
me.
for you.
You just say you're thankful for Harris. You just sit there and lie to me.
What am I thankful for?
Damn.
I didn't realize I could
You
be
get
thankful
one.
for more.
No,
Oh,
you get one.
all right, well, then I'm thankful for my girlfriend.
I'm thankful for
Oh.
Goth
Damn.
IHOP. Goth IHOP.
Goth IHOP?
Yeah, Goth IHOP.
That sounds like a subreddit.
Just Google it.
I'm thankful for pumpkin spice lattes.
You are the most basic bitch on this show.
Let's go.
I mean, we already knew that. that was known.
Wow.
I'm still thankful for Sean. I don't know about. I was
Hey.
going to change my answer.
Well, you know what, Kale? I'm glad you said that because am I the only one that has this? Vamp for one moment.
Vamp. Vampires are kind of scary because they want to like suck on your blood.
Well, hold on a
is that
second.
what
No,
he
no,
meant?
you gotta
Is
have
that
to
what he
explain
meant?
this Goth IHOP thing now.
I don't.
Yeah, come
No,
on.
I'm gonna let that
No, come
stay.
on.
Just Google it.
You got to vamp. Let's
I
vamp.
can't- I can't
Goths,
Google
it's
it.
perfect.
I can't describe. Also, thank you, Catherine, for the Twitch sub. Resubbed for Prime for 9 months. It's almost a year.
Whoa! Holy shit!
That's like-
Let's go.
There could have been a baby born in that time.
Okay. Hopefully the vamping went well. Am I the only person who has a copy of this?
Oof, no wonder Sean Kale's thankful.
Oh,
No.
Huh?
No, I mean,
Twins. Look at that. So what Kale and I are holding in our hands at the moment is a book that Kale actually worked on, and is unfortunately not technically credited in, but
Yeah.
it's his book.
Well, it's my
we
pen
got
name.
yeah, Kamen Rider Kuga. It's a manga. I have not yet had the opportunity to read it.
Okay,
but I
was gonna
will.
ask.
Yeah, I definitely will be reading it. So go get your copy. Why not?
it
Oh,
is
fuck. I'm
weird
gonna-
seeing you hold a manga, Sean. I gotta say.
and
It's weird to hold it.
be enthusiastic about it.
It's my friend's book, of course. What the
I
heck?
gotta say, I'm pretty excited for the
Look how
sequel.
cool that looks.
The sequel where Kamen Rider just wears a really nice sweater. It's called Kamen Rider Kugi.
What's a Kugi?
Oh, that's a Kugi sweater. It's a
Oh,
like a
no,
90s
I don't
thing.
like that.
Never mind. All right. Oh,
All right. Well,
Can't
do you
take
have
anymore.
are you thankful for something, Tyler, or what?
no. But thanks for reminding me to get that. I've today
He
is like my
said no.
first day. It's my
Did
first
you-
day
I-
like actually relaxing in like a week. So like I'm like, all right, I can slow down finally. So
I would have also joined you guys showing the books, but it's on my iPad. Just the light and the glare just doesn't always work out.
That
Like,
sucks.
yeah.
I put out a book
Huh?
and you bought it digitally.
Huh? What?
You listen, you rot gut piece of shit.
Hey man, you can't mess with the format, dude.
you can have it on a bookshelf and be like, and when people come over, when you bring your, you bring
My
your
friend.
I'm gonna
dates
short
over, your Hinge
circuit.
dates over.
I can't believe Marco's doing this to me.
No, I got it. I have the other ones. I have the other ones. It's physical. All the Kickstarter ones.
Marco is my best friend.
No, wait.
And he would even go out and buy my book.
No,
That sucks, dude.
Damn.
I wasn't even on the list until I bought this motherfucker right here. But
You just
now
I
I'm
guess
on the
Sean's
list.
my best friend now.
If
Man,
we were
French-
on MySpace, right?
Ooh.
We were on MySpace because you used to be able to have your top 10 or whatever
that's
it was.
right.
It was
Yeah.
top 8 originally, then it expanded.
You would have to switch the order. Whatever I was before, I would now have to be. I mean, I have to be at least in the top 3.
Yeah, easy top 3.
would I still be in the top, like in the top 10?
No,
What?
you're down there with my parents who didn't get it either.
Oh shit!
But I did get it, just not in the right format.
Okay, all right. So your bottom 15 is what you are.
I'll take
Rough.
bottom.
Yeah, you will.
All right,
And Tyler didn't get it either. So but I don't know him that well, so he's not
But-
on the list.
I'm
but
he's
we
better. Yeah.
we already know that Tyler doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah,
We've established that.
In what sense?
and it's fine.
You know, I personally have been spending close time with you week in and week out for 1 year almost at this point, which
Yeah.
we're gonna have to do some kind. Tyler, I can't wait for the year anniversary episode of you being on this show because after what you did to me with the Fantastic Four, I'm gonna figure out a way to get your ass back.
Oh, because I did that. That was
You
me.
did that to me. You
I
did
did
that
that,
to
yeah.
that intro was you. That was you.
Oh, that? Okay, yeah, no, that was me. That was me. Yeah.
Yes.
Feel free. If you want to do a super cut of my stuff, just make sure it's only stuff that's aired. That's all I ask for.
That's fine. I could do that. But listen, you know that there's a lot of stuff that I could pull from.
oh, boy.
And I will have to do that.
By golly, is there ever.
Yep, I'm gonna have to get you back. But the whole reason I said that is because known Tyler for a year, and I mean, my man, I don't know what Tyler thinks about anybody.
I like to keep it a little. It's just all goofy. I just keep it goofy. Nobody knows what my true baseline is.
I have to assume he doesn't give a shit.
Exactly.
After
in
my
fact,
year, I don't give a shit about a lot of stuff.
well, that's what, I'll drink to that. Except I don't have a drink. Anyway, we haven't talked about anything that this show's actually about yet. I mean, the show's about us, but so let's do that. Let's talk about Black Adam, everybody's favorite superhero movie of the last year.
Yeah, that's what it is.
So Black Adam is on VOD.
Already?
Okay.
Yeah.
Did it come out last month?
It dropped on digital on November 22nd,
Wow.
which is 1 month to the date, I believe, of the release of the film. It's going to be then coming out on all other physical platforms on Tuesday, January 3rd. That's not great. That's not great at all. In fact, the film, and by the way, The Rock was touting this week, hey, thanks for making this movie #1 on iTunes,
Whoa.
the notorious place where people get their movies these days.
Yeah, the marker of success,
Do you guys
That's
own
the bar.
anything, any videos on iTunes?
I only have Shin Godzilla because I can't. I don't know. I got it there for some reason.
Yeah, I have
I,
one thing
Please.
on there. It's that
Yeah.
it's Live Die Repeat, that Tom Cruise movie. Never even watched it. I don't know why I got it. I think I got a gift card and I was like, oh, I wanted to see that, and that's.
you know what? It's a good movie though. You should
Oh,
watch
I
it.
know it's on my list. Yeah, but
movie's
it's
awesome.
a weird thing.
I have The Spirit on my iTunes.
Oh boy, yeah, keep it there.
Ooh.
I love that movie. I'll watch that all over again.
Oh, that's real good.
Tyler, for bonus points, do you know the original name of that movie? Live, Die, Repeat.
Oh, The Edge of Tomorrow? Is that it?
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
I know a lot about the movie that I didn't watch.
So yeah, speaking of movies that people didn't watch, so Black Adam was outdone already by Wakanda Forever. That movie has already surpassed 500 million.
Easy.
Black Adam, however, is sitting at a nice whole 362 or 366.2 rather million since its release, which is not like, well, no, that's not great, yeah, because they're saying it had a budget of 200 million when you factor in like promotion and marketing and all that. So that's not the best.
It sounds like
And The Rock, sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say, sounds like the hierarchy of a potential sequel has changed.
That's one of the things I wanted to talk about. I don't know how that's gonna go, but before we dive into that, I wanted to share just one more thing that I thought was so funny. So IGN put out a tweet about this fact regarding Black Panther, trouncing Black Adam, and so The Rock tweeted with a laughing emoji. What a neutral post. I love competing, but at IGN, you guys are in the biz with us. There's no competition with the established global brand of Black Panther compared to Black Adam and JSA, who a year ago no one even heard of. No need to knock us. We're new babies and have to grow.
JSA, the oldest team in comic books.
Yeah, never heard of him.
And The Rock, a notably the one of the highest paid actors in Hollywood.
This tweet, and I have the tweet on the stream too, but it reads of like, "Stop bullying me," like
Right.
Yeah.
from
Yeah.
The Rock.
Please don't hurt my feelings.
Don't bully me, I'll come. That's never mind. That's a
Oh no, Tyler.
saw that on a shirt.
Unreal.
I don't think we can. Trademark.
Yeah, so just not a good look, Rock. It's funny though, because earlier this week, I think it was this week, Quentin Tarantino was talking, and someone opened the valve and he was spewing whatever he was spewing about Marvel movies. And one of the things he said
that time already.
Yeah, all right. I didn't even want to talk about it, but this is kind of just one of the things he said was that the actors in Marvel movies are not they're not superstar actors. They're not the draw. It's the characters that are the draw. And I don't agree with that, but I think it's funny that an actor who otherwise is a draw in The Rock just so happens to underperform in a superhero role.
It was about the character, Sean, frankly. Like Black Adam, JSA, they're babies still. Nobody knew who the JSA were,
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like, okay, yeah. Did a majority of the audience going to see that movie know all these characters? No. But when do they ever? Like, who knew who Iron Man was before Tony Stark was playing, or before Robert Downey Jr., who in my brain is synonymous with Tony at this point? Who cared about Iron Man before that dude?
I think that's his
come on.
point, though, that Robert Downey Jr. is synonymous with Iron Man at this point. Like, it's really Iron Man that's.
But no, it was Robert Downey Jr.
Well, did he make the character? Yes, but has anything stuck for him since?
Did he not have? Well, first of all, that's up to him what roles he takes. But wasn't the what's that called? Sherlock Holmes.
Sherlock, I think, was the only thing that was close. There were
Didn't
a couple
that
things that he tried that didn't work out. Like
Oh,
that
that's right. Yeah,
thing,
yeah.
That didn't work.
He was also
They making
Iron.
a-
Sorry, go ahead.
They making a third one? Sherlock
they are.
Holmes. I think Sherlock Holmes is doing pretty well.
Yeah, and he was Iron Man for 12 years or however
Yeah.
long. I mean, I feel like Robert Downey Jr. is a superstar actor.
Absolutely.
And I think a lot of the actors that are in MCU movies, the primary actors, they go on to do other things that do well. I think Chris Hemsworth has done very well.
All right, sorry, I
Chris
missed.
Evans, I think, has done okay. I don't know. Who plays how am I blanking on her name? Scarlett Johansson has done well.
ScarJo.
Sorry,
Yeah.
See,
I just had to
okay.
come to I just had to come to the defense of Quentin Tarantino. We share similar interests. So
Feet. Yeah.
No problem. I
whoa,
love the
whoa,
movies.
no,
I just,
cinema.
Oh,
Jeez.
uh-huh. Sure.
right, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, Tyler. And you know what you were doing there too. That's the
I don't know what you're talking about.
I made it more obvious. I apologize. It was well done, Tyler.
Hey, you know, I try.
Do you guys think that Black Adam will get a sequel?
Nah.
Yeah,
Really?
yeah, I do.
I think so. Yeah,
What?
I think The Rock will
I-
bully executives into giving him a sequel. Yeah, just intimidating.
And I don't think this total or whatever is bad enough that they wouldn't do it. Like it's still performed pretty well.
The first Ant-Man movie got a sequel. You know, like that like performed okay. You know.
And especially for DC, like any success I think is pretty decent success over there.
My thought is that this is not what they needed to happen in their first new era film. I think David Zaslav would have been really happy to see, this huge success they could sort of build off. I remember before the movie came out, Seven Bucks Productions, which is the Rock's production company, there were rumors swirling around that they were going to become, major players in the DC universe and start to help steer the ship and stuff like that. I don't think that happens after this. But do I think that Black Adam could get a sequel? I think if that sequel has a big hook, yes. If it's got Superman in it, or if you're saying it's going to be Black Adam versus Shazam somehow, or something like that, I think yeah. Otherwise, I think they might wait and see. I think
There
there's
is
circumstances where it makes sense. Yes.
Yeah, I think Shazam makes the most sense, but there is like a World War III plot line that Jeff Johns has been trying to get off the ground since fucking 52,
Mm.
in 2007 or whatever. So, I mean, there's that as well. So, I mean, there is potential, I would say at least for two more movies, and then The Rock's gonna have to start making shit up.
I see. I don't think so. Just because we recently got the announcement that was it Gunn and I'm forgetting the other guy's name
Peter Safran.
has Safran have like a 10-year plan sort of plotted out. I doubt that Black Adam is included in that. I think this was one of those one-off movies that is going to exist as it's going to exist. Joker is going to exist as it's going to exist, and then that doesn't involve whatever's going to happen within the DCFU moving forward. So I doubt that they will be like, oh, we can fit this in a clean way for sure. And it was like mildly successful. I don't know if that's like the value that they want to bring necessarily to this new future for DC.
Well, Black Adam certainly was in continuity, and is a character now within the DC universe. But I don't think that has to mean that he gets a movie. Like he could pop up wherever. Will The Rock be cool with that? That's a different story, and I think that's going to be the interesting part moving forward with this one.
And then if he's not like the star, he becomes like an actual villain in real life.
Well, we've already got villains running around in the DCU in real
Yeah.
life. We got Ezra Miller doing who knows what. So
We got fucking Lex Luthor, Elon Musk buying Twitter.
Oh, Twitter's been thriving, man.
Pierce Brosnan for not forcing a Mamma Mia 3.
lost us there, Tyler.
Well, you guys aren't Mamma Mia. God, why am I on the show?
I'm with you.
I don't know.
I don't know if that's his place,
He's got it. Someone.
I think Colin I'm of the camp Colin Firth should make that move.
That's a Silver Fox the musical. That's what that is.
Yeah.
Hello, Sean Glennon. Welcome. I do have to look. I don't want to say this last week because, I only just learned your name, but now that I am more comfortable with you and We've laughed together a little bit. I need to tell you that your name, unfortunately, is misspelled, and I think that you need to go do something about
This is a
that.
Sean hate crime right now.
What's up, Manny? Welcome. Thank you for
Yo,
joining.
Manny.
Yes. All right. And we know that Manny loves the Black Adam, so I'm sure this was your favorite topic to jump in on. Let's shift gears to the comics. DC put out their big solicits last week, and we dove into those. One thing that I missed, one thing that I didn't really see too much conversation about was the fact that it appears DC might be positioning the Titans as their primary superhero team in this new dawn of DC era. So there's not a lot of news to this. Essentially, we saw the February solicits. Nightwing 101 is basically teasing in a post Dark Crisis DC that Superman has a conversation with Dick Grayson that basically leads to him putting together the Titans and wanting to make them, the superhero team of Earth. And that's a big deal to me. That's a huge deal to me. You can see the team on the cover if you're watching live or if you're watching at all. If you're not, we got, of course, Nightwing, Beast Boy, Starfire, Donna Troy,
Yep.
Cyborg, and Raven, which is like, correct me if I'm wrong, is that not a quintessential Teen Titans team?
And Wally,
Titans
too.
team?
Yep.
Yeah.
Did you say Wally West?
Oh,
in there
sorry,
too?
Wally West. Yes,
Yeah,
missed that.
yeah. This is like the ideal Teen Titans team.
Right. So interesting about that is that almost all of them, well, maybe that's a stretch, but several of them have ties to core Justice League. So in a way, it's kind of like a legacy hero team usurping the legacy within the context of being the premier superhero team. And I don't know of the time where that ever happened in mainline continuity.
In the Marv Wolfman George Perez era, the Teen Titans book was like the bestseller of DC. Like it did way better than anything else on the stands. Similar to like the X-Men, around the same time, Claremont's X-Men. In universe, I don't think it's necessarily similar, which I think is what you're talking about. But the Titans have been sort of short shrifted for a while since then.
So do you think, because to me that's super interesting, do you think that DC would put the Titans over as their main team in story and actually give them the big threats and test that out?
I don't see why not. I mean, they've, Trigon and Darkseid, when you think about it, like they could genuinely be same level, right? Like I don't see why not. It could be, whether they've been used that way, I think it's a different conversation, but
No, I think that's fair. I think they have the capacity to be able to approach those kinds of villains. Like if they're on par and within the standing of the Justice League, which I think at this point they probably can be, I wouldn't put it past them to handle those kinds of like S tier villains.
I would love to see that. One of the things I love about DC that Marvel doesn't really have is those legacy heroes.
yeah.
It's super cool. And the Titans, in my mind, especially with Nightwing as the leader, always embodied what could be later. And now it's now. And I'm super interested. I hope they face off with Darkseid. I would love to see that.
That'd be cool.
The problem for me will be the issue that I've had with the Titans books basically since Jeff Johns did his Superboy thing, around Infinite Crisis, is that it feels like they have just kind of circled the drain.
Right.
The Teen Titans as a book, as a title, as a team have just kind of gone from creator to creator to creator to character led by character led by character, and they haven't really done anything. And even, I mean, even with really solid teams, there's just no direction for them.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that'll be the interesting challenge that whoever, will be leading this, I think that'll be their challenge, is keeping the Titans relevant.
I think this is the best time though, both in storyline wise after Dark Crisis and Infinite Earths, you got like a storyline in at this point. But also Tom Taylor's Nightwing is the vessel for this.
So good.
Right.
It is a hot book still. Yep. I think it outsells every major DC solo character besides Batman. So that's like Detective Comics and Batman. I'm pretty sure it outsells all of them.
Sounds right.
Which is like, all right, you got a hot book, you got a hot creative team, both sales and critically. Let's just go for it, And I think you got the show too. Like it is in the consciousness. And I think like now is the time to pull that trigger.
Will it be Tom Taylor on the Titans title though?
I think it would be dumb not to, honestly. I think that's the smart move.
I mean, I did too.
Yeah. I would like that. I would like that a lot. And there was right before we got into the Dark Crisis on Infinite Earths or whatever it was, they had the Titans Academy, which was an interesting concept, and like the reintroduction of Red X, or the introduction of Red X into the comics, and I stuck onto it because I'm like, cool, I want to see like this mystery resolved and all that. But frankly, I think to your point, Kale, it just felt like they gave the book to somebody to do it and to like incorporate this into the larger DC universe, and it didn't pay off in any meaningful way. But if you can get somebody who I think hasn't missed on a book, Tom Taylor, give it to me. I'm hungry for that.
I think even with the addition of the Titans Academy thing, like you can, branch out from Titans and do the stuff, the X-Men did in the, 70s and 80s. Again, you'd have to have a solid creative team, but, I think if you get someone in there with someone who knows what they're doing, I think it could work.
Yeah, and I think that could also be the linchpin for a section of comics in DC. You can have your Nightwing.
Yeah.
You can have Titans. You could make a Teen Titans as well.
Sure.
Like a separate, book.
Cyborg's getting a book.
Yeah.
What year is it?
TBD.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
Still,
so I think
go
there's
ahead.
There's a whole. It's a good time to pick this fruit, I think.
Sylph makes two good points. They should make the Titans the main team. Plus, so many people love them, including potential new readers who loved the show. And then also, Tom's so great with team books and still having emotional beats with numerous characters. Yeah, I mean, I was going to ask what the creative team should be, but I think that, if you're going to build this organically, I've been saying for years, I think Tom Taylor deserves a bigger shot. And this would be a bigger shot. So,
do you take Bruno Redondo off of Nightwing and put him on Titans?
So not that I have some great attachment to Bruno on Nightwing, but I would say if that's what's working, continue to do that over there and bring someone new on for Titans.
And you even have Tom Taylor doing John Kent too. Like, there's another character that can slot in here easily.
That could be that could also be a Titan. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that was another question I had was, do you guys think that this roster we're looking at is the full team?
We need Roy.
No.
That's what Manny
Roy's
said.
an outsider now. He hangs out with the Red Hood and Bizarro.
Yeah.
Nice.
Bizarro.
In Green Arrow, so that probably won't happen.
Listen, I don't understand the damage that Scott Lobdell done to that book.
So yeah, I mean, I'm going to be buying this issue of Nightwing for sure.
Yeah.
And I can't wait to see where this goes. I'm genuinely excited. This is cool.
Don, you haven't kept up with Nightwing.
Oh, it's good,
No.
dude.
I think it's well worth like going back. It's been a lot of fun, just solid comics.
Some real good Barbara Gordon in it too.
Yeah. The dynamic, dude. I
She's
want.
not in the wheelchair.
She's not, but like she's still doing Oracle shit, and like I really want them to start with this like chemistry that they're trying to build up. It's been. I want this shit to turn into like a romance adventure book.
Okay.
Yeah.
And also Deathstroke, big bad again in DC. So like, throw him in there. You know.
Even though he was just presumably
hero.
is thwarted in
Well,
Dark Crisis. But yeah, sure, why not?
That.
Yeah. Maybe he's got some residual power or something. Let's wish well Donny Cates, who has stepped down quietly, would have been quietly, from working on the Hulk. He's been doing the Hulk with Ryan Ottley since the end of the legendary, at this point, Immortal Hulk run with Al Ewing. So they're in the middle of an arc, and Ryan Ottley has stepped in to actually do double duty and write and draw the thing. So Ryan was asked on Twitter, and Ryan was great about responding to people. Ryan was asked, what was going on with that, and if Cates was just taking a small break. Ottley said no. He moved on to other things. I'll be writing the rest of this arc. There's always a chance he comes back for later arcs, but I just don't know. I miss his amazing scripts. Fortunately, he created such a solid foundation that the world is such a blast to continue creating in. Donny Cates caught wind of all this and took to Twitter to speak a little bit about this himself. He said, "Hey guys, I'm okay. Just needed to breathe and deal with a bunch of life. Anyway, yeah, no fear. I've been working with CB Cebulski, Will Moss, and Marvel in the background on some insane stuff that you'll know it when you see it. Love you guys. See you soon." So the other thing is that Ryan Ottley's leaving the book too.
No,
Yeah, Ryan Ottley was contracted to do 12 issues and is staying on a little bit extended to help wrap stuff up. But I kind of think that there was a natural endpoint that both creators had agreed to. And I think for Donnie, he just couldn't fulfill that for personal reasons. And so they'll both be off the book, I believe, after issue 14. Ryan Ottley says he's going back to Image to do some creator-owned stuff. So
good. All right, cool. Yeah.
But mentioning Will Moss specifically,
Yeah.
it's the Avengers editor, right?
is he not? Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I'm looking on the Marvel fandom. It looks like it's mostly Avengers that he edits. So interesting.
Jason Aaron's run is coming to a close.
Yeah, so Donny Cates
That's
is a big
huge.
enough name to slot in there. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm not equating it. Please, before you guys jump me, I'm not equating this to how revolutionary it was. But Donny Cates taking over Avengers reminds me of Bendis taking over Avengers, in the sense that Bendis wasn't necessarily the like number one Marvel writer yet at that particular moment, but him starting on that book led to him taking on that position. But he did have the hot hand, because before that you had Secret War, which was awesome. You had Alias, which was awesome. You had Ultimate Spider-Man. So he was doing great things. The same way I think Donny Cates has been doing great things. And now he's getting the big job. And I think that whoever has the hot hand should always be writing Avengers. That's my opinion. So I'm really happy if that's where they go.
Is Donnie the guy though? Like, is he the guy to handle the Avengers?
I think he's next up. He's not the number one guy at Marvel.
Sure.
I think the number one guy at Marvel is Jonathan Hickman. But I think if you're talking about who's next, even though most people would say Donny Cates is now, and I don't disagree with that to some degree either, because he's been selling like hotcakes. But he's certainly next, and I think that he should be writing Avengers.
Okay.
Let's,
You
can't
think
wait to see Venom on the Avengers. Let's go.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Do you think post whatever the Venom thing was,
King
uh,
of Black.
do you think he's just
King of
kind of
Black.
been simmering with, the Hulk and sort of building his stuff in the back so that he can potentially clear room for,
I think
whatever
so.
big move he's about to make?
Especially in King in Black, like previous to King in Black, he was seeding a lot of stuff in a lot of different places. His Thor stuff, his Silver Surfer stuff. Did a very short run on Guardians, but that seeded stuff in it. Then like once Hulk came around, it was like, all right, well, this is kind of just its own thing, and it really felt more like a vessel for Ottley to do cool Hulk shit. To be honest, it felt more like an Ottley book than really a Donny Cates book. Sure, there was emotional trauma in it, which typical Donny Cates, but that's kind of what it felt like. I feel like he's been focusing more now on like Vanish or crossover, like more of his creator-owned stuff, which I enjoy. I enjoy those books. But yeah, I'd like to see where else he can go.
Well, crossover is finished. Vanish, he just started.
I believe crossover is going to continue. I
Oh,
know
is it?
the main, like I think he's mentioned like he wants to do more in it, but
Because the last
was
issue
still
came
within
out,
this time.
whatever it was, like 13 or 15 or something.
something like that. Yeah, the story definitely finished, but I think that world is definitely something he can go back to.
Yeah, sure. Okay.
If not Avengers, then where?
Well, it looks like Will Moss also was the editor on Howard the Duck. So, honestly,
Huh.
honestly,
Feels like a step down.
At least one.
offensive.
Yeah.
Offensive.
Yeah, I think a writer like Donny Cates, you put him anywhere, and he's gonna generate some buzz and some interest. I feel like the Jason Aaron stuff has gone on, respectfully, I think it's gone on a little too long. And that franchise feels like it's been burned the heck out. This is the first time since I've started reading comics that I'm not reading Avengers. Donny Cates will bring me back to that book if that's where it's going.
And you're going to come back for Donny Cates' Avengers, or you're coming back because it's a new creative team and you're interested to see what he has?
I'm dying to read Avengers again.
Hmm.
I love those characters and I love to see what they're into. It's weird for me not to be reading it, but I don't want any longer ever again to read about the ancient Avengers. I can't do it. I just can't.
And
then
this
your
is
main
what I
Avengers
mean.
team is like, what is it? Blade, Namor, Nighthawk, Starbrand.
Nighthawk.
What the
Oh, yeah.
heck?
Not Darkhawk. Should be Darkhawk.
Oh, that's
but
what I'm
it's
thinking.
not.
Never mind. No, I'm thinking Darkhawk.
It's actually a Squadron Supreme member that is in the current Avengers.
Yeah. So I just need something fresh. I just don't think it's fresh.
But that's what I mean by is Donny Cates the guy? Because like, are people gonna go back? Are people gonna go to Avengers to be like, oh, for sure, Donny Cates is in the book? Yes, this is gonna be the shit. Or I'm coming back because it's a new creative team, and you know what, Donny Cates is solid. Like, let's give it a shot. That's my worry.
He's got ravenous fans.
Donny Cates has a legion. He probably has the most rabid fan base of anybody that works at Marvel right now,
Yeah.
with the exception of Hickman. And that might not even be true. Like, Donny Cates is major.
Don't they have a fan club name like the Advocates? I think is what they go by.
No
Yeah.
way.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
That's so
Yeah.
cool.
But like, imagine like you just get the Venom team together again. Stegman and Donny Cates on Avengers. It's money.
Unreal.
Yeah.
Unreal. I don't think that could happen just because of Vanish. Because Ryan can't probably do both. But if he could, that would be amazing.
And I gotta say, the Avengers stuff that was in King of Black was pretty good.
I thought so.
Yeah,
It was
it felt
cool.
like new
Yeah,
Avengers, street level Avengers stuff. Yeah.
yeah. Wherever Donny Cates lands, he'll be just fine. That's for sure. And same to Ryan Ottley. They're both incredibly talented. So excited to see how that all plays out. You mentioned Blade, and we have good news on the Blade front because the Blade film, the Blade reboot film, has now found its new director and writer. So the movie will be directed by Jan Demange, who was a director and a major player behind Lovecraft Country. So that's pretty cool. And Mike Starberry will be writing the film. So Marvel has solved their Blade problem. Not soon enough to prevent having to shuffle the deck of Phase 5 and 6.
Okay.
No, not again. I'm just talking about what we went through, what I went through with Fantastic Four. If all that happened because of Blade, well, dude, you couldn't get Jan Demange on the phone before you reshuffled the deck and said, hey, dude, can you come make this movie for us, please? Jesus. So we've got a new creative team. They're saying, Deadline is reporting that this Blade film now is going to be darker. Than
Blade?
No, than typical. And maybe this script is actually darker than it was. So this is the quote. Details are being kept under wraps, but sources say the new intent is for Blade to be dark and gritty in tone, falling on the edgier side of Marvel fare, and maybe even find common shading with the fondly remembered Blade movies made in the early 2000s by New Line. That is a very, very important statement to me. I read a lot into that. Because if they want to change the tone of the movie, did they always want to change it? Did they see the script that they had before and go, this is too light? It's also worth pointing out that when you're talking about, the higher level stuff, Bob Iger, not a fan of R-rated content as much. Chapek wanted it. They had a battle over that, actually. And Bob Chapek obviously won that out in the sense that we see now on Disney Plus R-rated content. Is this a result of a different regime? Did they want to go different with Blade because it was allowed? And does that change now that Iger's back?
I don't think it changes. Yeah.
Go ahead, Gil.
Are you asking if we're potentially going to lose this Blade now?
No, I'm sorry. I'm saying that
because of Iger coming back.
Right. Yeah. Like, I'm wondering if he would put the kibosh on that. But also, I'm wondering, did we lose the original director because they wanted to go in a different direction?
The other guy.
Yep.
Oh, interesting.
Because we've never known why that happened, why he left.
Maybe they had a lighter script for Blade and it just doesn't work.
You're right. The implication I'm getting from Justin at Deadline is that is exactly right. That's what I'm getting out of it, but that's a read. That's not what it says. I believe that's what happened.
Yeah, I believe it was attempted, and they were like, well, we tried, and it ain't looking good.
Right.
I wonder if you could post the same question with Deadpool.
So actually, I have the ability to answer that. Bob Iger was full gear on a Deadpool R-rated sequel to keep the consistency of what came before.
Oh, okay.
But I think in his mind, that's not the same thing as a core new franchise at the MCU.
My thing is, I don't think we need to worry about Bob Iger making drastic changes like that. A, he only has a 2-year contract. And B, I think his main objective is to fix a lot of the relationships that Chapek fucked up.
And the park stuff.
I think honestly, park stuff is bottom of the list for him.
Oh.
Honestly, I think when you look at the public perception of Disney after like the "Don't Say Gay" thing, you look at the screw up with Scarlett Johansson
Ooh.
after Black Widow. Like some of his decisions really pissed off people, to the point where like this was like an ousting, honestly, for Chapek. So I think a lot of it's damage control. So I don't see him stepping on any toes really in his next 2 years. I think it's going to be fixing relationships and prepping the next guy, whether they get like Tom Staggs back who left previously, or I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, I don't see him changing something that's already been changed once. Also, like timeline wise, you can't change it again. You got to just go for it at this point.
That would suck. Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder too if with the pedigree of this team, in Lovecraft Country, which seemed fairly successful.
So good. I love that series.
Not enough to get a second season, but
yeah, unfortunately.
There's other behind the scenes things. Behind that.
Definitely critically successful.
Yeah.
Very good.
I wonder too then if everything Tyler said sort of aside, I wonder if maybe maybe this would be like a permissible sort of experiment in this era of the MCU. I think it's sort of a direction they kind of need to go down.
And I think with Werewolf by Night, you can. Like,
yeah,
pretty well received. I mean, it's a special presentation, so like the tail on it was like non-existent. But like that was violent. There was blood everywhere in that. It was black and white, sure, but I think it's doable.
I think it's doable, and I think at this point they realize that there's an audience that will show up for those things, and that's like that's a piece of their audience that will show up, and they need to tap into and lean into a little bit, because like a lot of these are PG-13 movies, but stuff like the Wolverine was super successful. It grants them access to be able to do a lot more, I think, even if maybe the younger kids won't necessarily make their way in, but it will scratch an itch, I think. And you need to have a large base across the board in order to be successful.
I think limited case by case scenarios like Blade being possible to be R-rated, I think is great. I don't think they'll ever do like a R-rated like Cap movie or anything like that.
No.
Yeah.
But I think certain kinds of characters where it makes sense, yeah, sure. And Blade is one of those, yeah. Quite frankly, the last thing I need to see is some kind of like goofy, light, kid-friendly Blade movie. That sucks.
But that's Ghost Rider.
And that sucks.
Yeah.
Like the original Blade movie, okay, yeah. I probably wouldn't show that to a kid, I guess. But that doesn't mean it wasn't awesome. And you don't even need to go as far as that movie went. Like there are ways to do it. Just do it right. Just I don't know. Blade to me, Blade is kind of like simple. He kills vampires.
Yeah,
that's awesome. Like
that's one of the original things about like the major mega corporation can't quite get this one thing right, and it's a dude killing vampires with a sword. We are in trouble.
Yeah,
and it's not like the idea of vampires is one of the oldest cinema things that we have.
Yeah,
no, it's fine.
Can you imagine Blade, but out in the style of the Halloween special? Kind of
I
fun.
haven't seen it.
Oh,
I could like that.
I could like that, but I don't think it would have the kind of appeal that they would look for.
If you're referring to it being in black and white, I just don't think that we should have
Like-
Mahershala Ali in black and white.
All right.
Yeah.
Although if you put Michael Giacchino on the score of Blade, I'm cool with that.
That would be sick.
Yeah.
I would love that. You guys wanna talk about a wild rumor?
I
Nope.
love
Yeah?
this rumor.
No?
I'm excited
Alright.
for this
okay,
rumor.
all right. Well,
Oh.
all right.
I guess I was outvoted, so I guess we'll talk about it.
So this is completely, wacky, I guess you could say. But I believe this. I believe what I'm about to say. And I've been sitting on this, but now's the time to talk about it. The internet has been going crazy on the low with a rumor that Thunderbolts, the film, will feature none other than the introduction of the Squadron Supreme to the MCU, and that they will be the antagonists of the film of Thunderbolts. Now, where does this come from? Well, people always have something to say. People are always scooping and reporting. One such scooper, Daniel RPK, whose name I've seen over the years doing this, said that there's a recent casting grid that is passed around with a description of an evil Superman.
Ooh.
Okay. That, of course, would be a reference to Hyperion, which is basically like one of Marvel's Superman analogs, but bad, which is,
Standard.
realistic or whatever.
Yeah.
Um,
The world outside your window.
yeah. Of course, the most powerful man in the world would be a douchebag. Like, no chance he'd just be a stand-up guy.
Like from The Boys. What the fuck's his name?
Yeah, a Homelander.
Homelander. Oh,
So then, others built off of that idea and said that they're looking for someone like Ryan Gosling or Alexander Skarsgård to play this character. I think that makes a lot of sense because in Black Panther, which spoilers, I'm sorry if you haven't seen it, skip ahead.
Ant.
We know that the US government wants access, and all governments apparently want access to vibranium. We also know that the United States government doesn't have a superhero team. The Avengers don't exist anymore, but even if they did, they had divorced themselves from that in earlier films. So what if they try to build the Thunderbolts, they build a team, potentially send them to Wakanda to try to steal vibranium and use Winter Soldier's relationship because he's the leader of the team for some weird ass reason. If they try to use his relationship to infiltrate Wakanda and steal vibranium, that doesn't go well because they decide that they don't want to do that. And they send the Squadron Supreme to be heavy handed. And these two teams have to fight.
I see it. I can see this being more of a tie-in specifically to the multiversal stuff that we're dealing with. The Squadron Supreme was always from a different Earth, with the incursions happening. It's the friggin' multiverse saga, and it's also kind of like a screw you to DC. If they can job out their analogs in a way.
Sure.
I don't know how Thunderbolts really fits in there. I mean, I guess it's the most MCU team you can have, so maybe that's how they do it. Yeah, I don't know. I love the Squadron Supreme though.
Yeah, they're sick.
I'm a big Hyperion guy. Nighthawk. Power Woman, right? Is that
I don't. For some reason I can't remember her name, but
Power
she's
Princess,
awesome.
I believe.
But what you just said is why I'm tying it in to Wakanda, or at least to the U.S. government wanting to have a team.
Sure.
Because there's no how do you logic that out? How do you logic out in any other way the Squadron Supreme being in a Thunderbolts movie? That doesn't on its face doesn't make any sense.
I think in that case we go to see Namor in that case because Wakanda is part of this whole NATO and the MCU. There's a lot of implication there, but technically, I'm forgetting the name of the
Talokan,
city. Talokan
right?
is technically a rogue nation. Like their jurisdiction, they have no jurisdiction in the same way that Thunderbolts would have all the jurisdiction to go in and fuck shit up. So I would probably see that as, and that is now a new source of vibranium. I see that as the angle, less so Wakanda, more so let's fuck up this other nation that we now didn't know existed.
But no one knows about it.
But they're slowly coming to that realization, and I think with all of the information that Louise Dreyfus has been building over the course of that movie, and just in general, that the stuff that they have in the background, I could see that be the play as like, okay, we have these inklings now, and these understandings. There was a whole out war. There was a war in the middle of the ocean. Somebody saw that shit, and presumably it was the U.S. government.
Now I'm thinking about this a little more. I'm trying to see how I can fit this in. I think the Thunderbolts will have their Wakanda thing. It'll be a thing, and they'll fail. And then this is more of a post-credits thing, where Elaine realizes, all right, Thunderbolts didn't work out. Let's use the Squadron Supreme's initiative, and she'll use a multiverse, and like we'll be like, all right, this is the new government team for the United States. So we pulled this team out of the multiverse. Like she's been working on that on the side. Maybe this is more like a bomb that's dropped at like the end of the movie or something. You know, it's like more of a cameo.
Who's the guy that plays Red Guardian? What's his name?
David Harbour.
David Harbour.
Thank you.
Warcraft fan David Harbour.
Indeed, yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Saw him in the commercial. He did an interview where he said that they were planning to drop a bomb in this movie. That there's something in this movie that makes it basically that gives it the right to exist. And he didn't clarify or specify as to what that was. I'm thinking what we're discussing right now is that. As of now, the way, especially the way this team is structured, it's very difficult to see why we would be getting a Thunderbolts movie because it doesn't even fit the concept. So I'm locked in on the idea that they're going to Wakanda.
Me too. Yeah, I think this is going to be the U.S.'s surgical scalpel to try and resolve issues. This is their secret spy team.
Yep.
And once they realize the scalpel can't cut through vibranium, they need to get the hammer, you know, and that's where Squadron Supreme comes in. And most recently, the most recent Squadron Supreme story I can think of is the Heroes Reborn, Jason Aaron stuff, where Coulson uses Mephisto to actually bring this team into the reality of the Marvel universe. And they're just the US's new Avengers essentially, but they're all fucked up people, and they're like not real. And Nighthawk realizes he's not real. He kind of goes a little crazy. I recommend that Heroes Reborn story. It's pretty fun.
I think you guys took that conspiracy palling around too seriously, because the U.S. government would never send a covert team to destabilize another country for some sort of natural resource. You guys are cuckoo.
I miss Coulson.
Me too. Yeah, I do too.
I like that character.
Me too.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Good guy, Coulson.
I don't know why
call
they
Clark Gregg. I don't think he's that busy right now.
Damn.
Bring him back.
So that's all the future of Marvel. Thunderbolts, potentially Squadron Supreme, Blade. That's all the future. But Phase 4, I guess, as of the Guardians special, although I was thinking Wakanda Forever, is now over. And so what we're going to do is we are going to, in our main topic, take a look at Phase 4. We're going to discuss it, discuss our thoughts on it. But we're also going to rank it. We're going to take all the Phase 4 stuff, the movies, the television shows, and we're going to tell you definitively, because every ranking we do is definitive, we're going to tell you just how good or not good Phase 4 really was in our main topic. We will be back in 5 minutes or less if you're watching us live. That's the Comics Pals promise. Otherwise, stay tuned. We'll see you soon. All right. We are back. Thank you for waiting. If you've been waiting, if you're watching or listening to this after we're live, thank you guys so much for sticking around. We appreciate that. If you would be so kind as to leave us a follow, a sub, a rating, a review, if you're enjoying the show, all that stuff helps us out a ton and it costs you nothing. As I mentioned at the top, we are on the road to 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, and any support that you can offer on that would be huge. Whether that's a Twitter post, a Twitter retweet, stuff on social, convincing your friends to sub to us, whatever it is, we appreciate you guys. So as you can see, if you were watching, we've got Tyler put together the snazzy ranking. What can we call this?
It's a tier
tier list.
Yeah, the tier list graphic.
Yeah, it's on Tier Maker.
Yeah. And it's got all the Phase 4 cool stuff on it. And we are going to rank this from D to S. I'm glad you kept it at D.
Gotta keep the D.
Yep. And we're gonna go in release order. we'll do the rankings first, I think, and then we'll have our conversation about how we feel about all this stuff overall. So let's kick things off. The first phase for anything, if I'm remembering correctly, is Black Widow.
Oh, easy. We got our first D, huh?
It's definitely not high tier for me. That's for sure.
Boy.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
for me, Black Widow was too late. And I think that it tries to tell it has the ambition of telling a very deep and meaningful story about broken people who are being, and women in particular who are being manipulated and made to hurt and destroy each other, taking their power back. And I think as a general concept, that's awesome. I just don't think the execution really stuck the landing. I found some of the jokes to be kind of weak. And I didn't think that the final action scene was particularly good. And I hated what they did to Taskmaster. But I don't think it was dreadful. I would say this was a C, personally.
I'm kind of with you on C for that. Yeah.
Yeah, I actually came out of Black Widow liking it more than I thought I would. I don't think I thought it was good, but up until like the final act and the final fight or whatever, I had kind of a good time. But I remember that that skydiving scene
Yeah.
where she's dodging the airship things, that fucking video game scene really pulled me out of it.
Got those quick time events.
So B, C, I think is decent for me.
Oh, fuck me, I guess.
Yeah,
I'm gonna say
don't
C.
forget it.
The only thing I can think about when I think of Black Widow is two things. Florence Pugh is fantastic in it, and I'm so happy to see Florence Pugh in the MCU. But also Too Little, Too Late.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Okay, so that takes us on to Shang-Chi, which was Black Widow was a sacrifice for sure to test the waters of the box office. I think Shang-Chi was Marvel saying, all right, let's test your gangster. Let's see if you will stay at home for this one. Let's see if you won't come out for this one.
Yeah.
And I think people did show out for this one for a few reasons. I think, the diversity aspect. I think a lot of Asian people were happy to finally have, their hero. And it's a unique movie in terms of, its presentation, at least from the rest of the MCU and the things it kind of deals with. For me, I did not like Shang-Chi very much when I first saw it, but I watched it notoriously on a plane with the sound off, and I liked it a lot more. I think Shang-Chi is I think Shang-Chi is okay. I would say bottom B, top of C, and I wouldn't argue with anybody for or against it. It's okay.
I would say Shang-Chi's a solid B.
Yeah, I think so. Probably top of B.
I think the the jokes in this film are a lot, and I think Trevor coming back and that an entire plot point hinging on him is like, that's almost unforgivable. Like,
Yeah.
But then one thing that really killed it for me was the fucking product placement. Like I know that's a silly thing to grade the movie on, but it was blatant, man. And that really took me out of it. It was fun. I think it's I think his power and his weapon are unique. I say B.
I really liked Shang-Chi. I had a lot of fun with it. My gut wants to say out of Phase 4, maybe an A. But I think B is the best consensus here.
I could contend an A, but since we have the S tier.
Yeah.
But I think we're gonna have to fight about it.
Go ahead.
I would like to put it in B, and then after everything's done, I
Yeah,
want to
yeah, that's
reorganize. Yeah.
All right. So we'll move on from Shang-Chi and go to everyone's favorite, Eternals, Manny's favorite Marvel movie.
Well, Sean, I have
We
this.
know
I have
that.
this in. I have this in order now. I organized it.
Okay. Okay.
Um,
Cool.
WandaVision is actually should have been before Shang-Chi as
Oh,
well.
all right.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Oh,
Just in
ooh,
terms of
Okay, WandaVision.
actual chronologically. Let's do WandaVision next.
Sure.
Boy.
So
It's a tough
WandaVision
one.
has the distinction of being the very first MCU show. It did a lot of crazy and interesting things in terms of its presentation, focusing on Wanda and Vision and their children. This show had me on the hook until Marvel showed its boner, and then I
Yeah.
feel like it fell off a cliff. I know a lot of people don't agree with that, but that's how I feel. Uh, for me, WandaVision is a C.
A C?
Yeah.
No fucking
Wow.
wait. That
I
did
can't-
that much damage to it for you?
Oh yeah.
Holy
Oh yeah.
shit!
I thought they really screwed the pooch.
For me, it's
Wow.
an A. If they had kept what they were going for at the beginning of the show, it'd be S tier easily.
Yeah. Easy.
The
Yeah.
last two episodes kind of bring it down to an A for me, but I still can't stop thinking about those like homages to multiple eras
Yeah.
of TV. Elizabeth Olsen's great in it. Paul Bettany's fantastic in it. Introduced Catherine Hahn to the MCU. Like it did a lot of good stuff. So I got to say A
I think-
for WandaVision.
I think those last two episodes, and even the plots outside of Wanda and Vision, to me, were unnecessary baggage. And that's what keeps it from being S tier. I think you're right. Had it been homages all the way through, it would have been absolutely tremendous.
Yeah.
So I say A B. Yeah.
Yeah,
I say A. I'm
A.
comfortable with A.
Okay. Tyler, you got it from here, or
Yeah. Next
Okay.
up, Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
yeah. So this is of course the second show that Marvel put out. This one focused on the aforementioned Falcon and Winter Soldier. It's darker than a lot of stuff. It's kind of got some heavy themes. It's one of the first Marvel things, I mean, second to Black Panther, to tackle race in any real way. I think it was better for taking its material seriously. I think U.S. Agent was phenomenal. It gave us Valentina DeFontaine, who's been phenomenal. For me, Falcon Winter Soldier is at the top of what I like about Marvel stuff. Is an S. I think it's brilliant.
Really S.
I could be swayed to an A, but I'm starting at S.
I'm gonna have to say B, because for me it's everything the Marvel universe is, and I mean that in its good and its bad. It is the most MCU of the Disney Plus shows. I think there's some of the stuff it does with Elijah Bradley, or right, that's his name. I would get him and Patriot's names mixed up. That, and I think the Zemo stuff is real good. But it's a little too cookie cutter MCU at some points for me. For me, it's a B. I think it speeds through to the end very quickly. I think it's a little plotting until like a couple episodes in, and then it sprints to the finish line.
I don't know. This might be an A. I could be swayed for this being an S, because I think the introduction and the wrestling that this film does with the evil Cap,
U.S.
US
Agent, yeah.
U.S. Agent. I could not come up with that. I was thinking Hunter Biden, and I don't know why.
No, watch out for
Yo,
the laptops.
you ever seen him? He kind of like is anti-Cap. Like whatever you think Captain America is from a physical standpoint, from a personality standpoint, he's the opposite. My man's doing coke off of people's bodies. Anyway, go ahead.
Losing his laptop.
Yeah. Oh, God.
Everybody knows Cap would be able to keep his laptop. But I think it really wrestles with the nature of who Captain America is. And I think what's extra unique about it is that it does that without Chris Evans
Yep.
slash Steve Rogers, and it does it with several different people. And I think it really, I think it lands the plane.
It's underrated, I think.
Yeah, that I agree. I think it lands the plane. I think the introduction of U.S. Agent. I mean, he was my favorite character in all of that. Like
Yeah,
the, I thought he was super compelling. The acting was well done. The only place that it falls apart for me a little bit is the larger, the larger like terrorism aspect and how that ties into like we need to stop this force. I think they tried to get a message across there, but I don't know that it necessarily resonated or it wasn't. It. I don't think it was executed as well as it probably could have been. I felt for the characters, but at some point I'm like, oh, this feels a bit generic. So that would have that knocked it down from an S for me. Otherwise, I thought everything was solid about it. There was probably nothing inherently wrong, and it was all really strong highs, except for that piece, and that brought it that bumped it down.
Okay, so what's your rating?
A. Top of
right.
A
I
probably.
think it's fair for A. All right, next up, Loki.
S tier.
I'm with you, Marco. I loved Loki.
Easy.
Loki did a lot of work. It gave us Sylvie. That was her name, right?
Yep.
Yep.
yeah.
Who's awesome. It introduced us to Jonathan Majors' portrayal of Kang, even though that character, they say is not Kang. It's Kang. Loki gave us the TVA, which is really cool and fun. Miss Minutes, who everybody loves Miss Minutes. Loki laid a lot of groundwork, but it also managed to be a personal story about a character that we've never really, for as much time as we've spent with him, we've never really gotten in his head, seen what makes him tick, and seen him have to try and change maybe. So I think the show was really cool and introduced the variants as well. I really got a lot out of Loki. Loki for me is an easy A, and you could if someone made an argument for S, I would listen to them.
I'm making the argument for S.
Okay,
Same.
I'll listen to you.
This is a B for me.
No.
I think similar to Sean's stance with Ralph Boner, for me the Marvel VFX department of it all really showed its ass here. I just could not get past the ever loving green screen on all of the show, and it was just unforgiving, and I couldn't take it seriously. And I liked the content, but I just like. I think when we were reviewed it, like I said something to the effect of, I've seen Doctor Who episodes with way smaller budgets that are way better than this.
Dude, not even old Loki?
He was great, but I mean, they must have done his parts without, green screen, the practical
They didn't
effects
need
or
it.
something. But like, yes.
All right, so we got a B. That was a B, right, Kale?
Yeah.
2 S's and an A. What does that shake out to?
A? Probably an A.
I guess.
Probably
Yeah.
an A. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And then maybe, if there's nothing we all agree on for S tier, we can go back and sort out the S tier.
Yeah.
So next up, what if we talk about What If?
S tier.
Ooh, no, that's a hard one. I'm not agreeing
For
with you.
what
on
if?
that.
For what if introduced the concept of, sort of the concept of the multiverse. I think it kind of goes hand in hand with Loki and WandaVision in terms of bringing that stuff up. And it showed us in an animated world all these different versions and variants of characters that we know and love, including Marvel Zombies, including T'Challa, Chadwick Boseman's last performance as T'Challa, but as Star-Lord, which was pretty incredible. There was a lot of cool stuff there. For me, I felt like sometimes the animation wasn't the best. I didn't always love it.
Right.
And I thought like every other episode was good. Sometimes I felt like, I don't care about this. Like the one the mystery one, the whodunit one or whatever, and certain other ones like that. I would give this a B. I would say B.
B.
As you talked it through, I remember the same feeling of like, oh yeah, episode was pretty good, and then I was like, oh yeah, this next one was hot fire. Actually, I'll amend mine to about bottom of A.
I
I didn't see it, so I can't vote.
I'm not that hot on What If. I want to say C for What If. I just think it's mostly okay. There are some bright points, but it's just a mostly okay show for me.
Yeah. I'm with that. I think it was okay. C. I'm not gonna argue for this show, to be honest with you.
I'll concede B, because I thought that the introduction and the way that they primed us for Multiverse of Madness of like what could possibly happen was, I think, effective, because that was where I'm like, oh, is this character gonna pop up? Is this person gonna do a thing? And we're coming out of this and we have all these ideas. Now we're going into multiverse. What the fuck's gonna happen? I would put it in B.
I'd argue D, honestly, but you know,
that's heavy.
Damn.
That's heavy.
It's entirely skippable.
That's true. That is legitimately true.
Yeah, Kale did.
All right.
All right. I'll go C.
That's fine.
You got me.
All right. Here we go.
This one's for you, Manny.
Eternals time.
D.
Okay. So Eternals.
The sound two wood planks make when they bang on cement. Duh.
Yeah. Chloe Zhao directed Eternals. Very different. Again, different from a visual standpoint. It looks almost more like a DC movie than a Marvel movie. It's got a huge cast. It introduces us to the Eternal characters, and some wild concepts, the Celestials and all that stuff. All that's cool. I think this is probably my least favorite Phase 4 anything. This is an easy D.
Yeah, agreed. I don't know that there was a redeeming quality in this movie, unfortunately.
I would say Gemma Chan's pretty good in it.
Okay.
I'm trying though.
Angelina Jolie is there.
Yo,
she's
she
just
killed it.
there.
Yeah, she
that
did
is
real
that
good.
was a paycheck. That's what that was.
Does that move it up to a C?
He does not. No.
It means it makes it somewhat bearable.
I appreciate the way I can describe this movie is an attempt was made. An attempt was
Damn.
made. I mean,
I guess I'm gonna have to.
The Happy
I'm
Gay
gonna
Family
have
was
to-
dope. Yeah.
I'm gonna have to go to bat for fucking Eternal.
God.
I think the performances actually were really good.
I agree. I agree. I think there's a lot of good interpersonal relationships. But I think as a whole, it's way too long. There's way too many flashbacks. At one point, they flash back. They're like, "Whoops, cause Nagasaki."
Yeah.
And it's
I think
Here we go.
Eternals is better than Black Widow.
At what?
Ooh, great question. I think the emotional stuff is better in Eternals than it is in Black Widow. You feel something. You might not feel it for long, but you do feel something.
I'll give you one more thing. I think the depiction of super speed in Eternals is the best depiction of super speed we've had in movies.
It's so amazing. Absolutely broken. And there were great characters in the mix.
The villain was one of the worst villains in the MCU.
Terrible.
Yeah.
And
1000%.
also, I thought that movie, especially in comparison to Black Widow, I felt like Eternals was like emotionally incoherent sometimes. Like I don't think that it was always clear what the heck they were trying to get towards. And quite frankly, there were too many damn characters. I don't even know why we're still talking about this movie.
Dude, you guys said villains. I don't remember who the fuck they were.
Crow.
Well, you
Was
had
it-
It was
the
Deviants?
wait.
Deviants,
Oh,
but
Yep.
then you also had what's his name? Oh my
Sir
god,
Mix-a-Lot.
how could I forget this guy's name?
Icarus.
Thank you
Icarus.
so much.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert for
Icarus.
Eternals if you haven't seen that.
Yeah,
Oh,
Oh.
that's right. That's right. The turn. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
But we did get Patton Oswalt's introduction to the MCU in this as Pip the Troll. Does that
No,
break it down?
he's
Should I
already
make an F
been
tier?
he's already
Should
been
I-
introduced. Season 1 of Agents of Shield is canon.
Is he Pip the Troll now? No, he's the other.
He's a
the other
robot.
guy. That's true. Yeah, yeah. He's the LMD. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, D. Fuck it. I tried.
We got to put something in there.
Valiant effort.
D
Yeah,
for
I agree.
deviance. There we go.
Yeah.
All right,
D
next
for
up.
dumbass
Great
movie.
time to talk about this. A nice holiday show with Hawkeye.
I had fun with it. I had more fun with it than I thought I was going to. I thought the cast did a really good job. Some of the cameos, like Belova coming in, was a good addition. It was fun.
Yeah.
It was quippy in like not an annoying way that the MCU can be sometimes. And I'm forgetting Haley. What's her name?
Seinfeld.
Seinfeld. Great, absolutely phenomenal job. This is like a solid. This was I think like right in the middle, solid B, maybe top of B.
I thought Hawkeye was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It was great to spend more time with Florence Pugh. That was cool.
Yep.
I mean, listen, we got back Kingpin. That was cool. Even though I thought he was a little bit weird.
He had
Echo.
super strength all of a sudden. He was ripping car doors off.
He got super strength. He was like, what was he like wearing Hawaiian shirts? Like it just
Yeah,
was
the kid.
odd. And getting jobbed out. But anyway, Hawkeye was fun. I would say Hawkeye is a B for me.
Yeah. I mean, I would put Hawkeye above Falcon and Winter Soldier personally, but this is not a personal list.
I disagree.
I think Hawkeye was a necessary show because Clint needed character growth. He did not have any
Now,
anywhere.
what he needs is a different actor.
Fair,
And,
fair. He
and
needs an actor who
Falcon
doesn't
was
have
just
his own.
rich of character development and
Yeah, but like you had Haley Steinfeld, you had Echo introduced, so I thought Echo was great. The
Fine.
Tracksuit Mafia's there; they're fun.
that was sick. Yeah.
That was good.
Hawkeye for me is on the level of Shang-Chi. I didn't care
I
much
guess
about it.
we'll put it as B then. That seems to be a thing. All right, this is gonna be an interesting one. Is it No Way Home? Spider-Man No Way Home?
Yeah. So, I mean, everybody knows the deal on Spider-Man No Way Home. 3 Spider-Men,
Wait,
Green
what?
Goblin. Sorry?
I didn't watch it.
Ah, shoot. Sorry. For me, look, I'm a sucker. We all know that. I've been watching these movies since the dawn of these movies. I love all these Spider-Men. I loved all the villains. I loved this movie. This movie is an S for me. I'm sure that that's not where it will land, but it is an S for me.
It plays too much into nostalgia. I feel like for people to be like to give it a fair rating, I thought the movie was fine. Like it was good. Yeah, we got all these cameos and those are great pop-off moments, but I don't think that defines the quality of a film. And I thought that the plot is convoluted. Like all Peter had to do was not
Be an idiot.
not be an idiot about shit, and everything would have been fine. And like there are moments where I'm just like, why the fuck is he doing that? Oh, plot. You
But
know,
he is an idiot.
but
Well, Doctor
he's
Strange is an idiot in this movie too. Like,
but the common sense, yeah, it's like there's a level of common sense that I couldn't look past. And
But
if-
he's an idiot.
yeah, if only you had the multiverse breaking in another Marvel property before this, that could have that could have been the explanation. But no, you got to make your 2 main characters fucking dummies.
I don't like that.
I'm with you, Marco. I think this is it's fair to say a good movie, right? It's a good movie.
I think it's a good movie.
And I think a good movie can go in A.
Agreed.
I don't think it's a great movie, so it's not S tier for me. I agree. It is nostalgia of the movie. Literally, it's fan service the movie.
Hell
and
yeah,
we're only
dude.
finally now just getting the Funko Pops and the action figures too for these things because they couldn't put them out previously. So
Can I say the varying definitions of fan service? Like in anime means something completely different.
oh no, yeah,
No, it
that's-
means about the same thing.
You sure about that?
It's about the same. Yeah,
Yeah?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
What do you
okay.
think these fanboys were doing in the theater when Andrew Garfield showed up?
Uh-huh.
Yep.
Yeah. Sorry, can you remind me who's Spider-Man again?
Which one?
Take your
It's Tom
pick.
Holland.
What decade are we talking about?
Oh, right. Okay. F.
I don't have an F
Silver.
tier.
I hate this film.
No, you didn't. But did you watch it?
Yeah, I watched it. You don't remember? This is the only fucking Spider-Man movie I watched. You don't remember that shit?
So
Bill, what are you?
I love the fucking call outs. Yes.
Boobs bouncing.
Butt shots.
Talking about what fan service is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't remember Otto being caked up in this movie.
Oh, don't you?
I mean,
It was there, dude.
Yeah, B. I think I do like the interaction between the Spider-Men, but I think what Marco's saying is salient. Like the cameos don't make the movie, and the plot was convoluted. I felt a lot of the characters were inconsistent, and I think the hype around the Green Goblin is just way overblown. Cool fight scene though. So that's a B for me.
Wow. Hey, you know what? I expected a C, frankly. So.
Oh, okay, you're right. C.
Nah, fuck.
B feels B or A feels right to me.
A,
I think you
A's fine.
I think A. Yeah, I would say A.
yeah, A is fine. Okay. We'll start with the A.
Sylv, if that's what's going on in anime, then clearly I'm watching the wrong kind of media.
Oh, dude. Fan service anime.
You ain't
homie.
get Eternals tried, doesn't work out. So
Wrong
Nope.
kind of fan
I gotta.
service.
Now I'm an anime boy.
all right, let's go over to the mystical side of the Marvel universe with Moon Knight.
Listen,
Ooh,
I
that
didn't
was a
finish
reaction.
this because I thought that this was bad. I felt like it was messy. I thought that it was uninteresting. I really don't think that there was anything compelling about it. I thought the presentation of Moon Knight's dissociative identity disorder, I guess, is what
I think so. Yeah.
I thought that was all right, but it never like, okay, wow, sometimes he's scared of the world, sometimes he's a badass military guy. Okay, so sometimes he's Bruce Banner, sometimes he's, the Hulk or Cap or whoever.
Right.
Like, and then I kind of felt like the world that they were playing in felt bland. I thought that could have looked a lot cooler. For me, this was just not good. I would say it's a D.
Whoa. I'd put this in B. I think to your point on the world, it felt small for the scope of what we were dealing with at the time. Like it's like a god's going to be born and destroy all of the world and take over. But we were just kind of set in like two main areas. Was it London and then flashing in and out of Egypt here and there?
Yeah.
I thought that was fine. I thought that Oscar Isaac did a pretty good job. The character's a bit different from what I've read in the comics, and frankly, it's only the two runs: Warren Ellis and Jeff Lemire. And I appreciated some of the Easter egg moments, like the suit, right, and the actual like battle with the cape. That was fun, but some of the God stuff kind of lost me, and I don't know how it all tied in with where the series wants to go moving forward. Like I don't know that this was enough to keep me on the hook for a season 2, and yeah, I don't know where you could go from here. So for me, it was like probably a B. It was middle of the road. I didn't think it did anything terribly wrong, but it just didn't interest me in the way that I was probably expecting it to.
For me, That might be the biggest Moon Knight fan of the four of us, right?
Easily.
Yeah.
Marco doesn't even know who that is.
I liked it up until like the halfway point, and then I realized like, oh no, this is just going to be an MCU CGI fest by the end. Guess what?
Yep.
It was.
Yep.
I was very disappointed about with this because I think it started out very strong.
Yep.
I
First
actually kind of
episode was
enjoyed
hot.
when they even got into like the God stuff too, like that episode where like you're in Mark's consciousness and then he meets Steven and they're like in the psych ward. Like I thought that was like a good episode. But like the villain was boring. I thought the introduction of the Red Scarab was cool. I think that's a completely new character. No, she's in the comics,
No.
but like barely used. The intro was cool. Like I think there are bits here that were good, but I think by the end and as I view it as a whole, it was mostly disappointment that comes along with it that I've attached to that. For me, I want to say C.
Wow.
I give it a B. Basically, for all the reasons everyone said, but I don't feel as strongly. The biggest problem I had with it was the sixth episode is a giant CGI fight scene.
Yeah.
I even liked their trip into, Egypt heaven or whatever. I thought it was a weird pivot, and I don't know, something about it worked better for me, despite it again being completely VFX.
I enjoyed that episode too, actually. Yeah.
I thought the stakes and the peril they had, when I don't even when one of the Oscar Isaacs falls off the boat and just dissolves, I thought that was great. But yeah, when you've got the giant skeleton bird fighting whatever the fuck he was fighting, I don't even remember anymore. It didn't matter to me. So
Kaiju.
Yeah, it turned to a kaiju.
Worse?
Yeah.
B for me.
I say that averages out to like what, a C?
I'd say high C. That's not unreasonable.
Or we'll organize them individually. The teams
All right,
later.
Yeah, definitely better than
All
Black
right, this one
Widow.
might be contentious. Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness.
This was
A.
fun, dude. A, yeah.
Yep.
My gut says, as I look at, so if we're talking MCU movies as a whole, it is not an S tier. But in Phase 4, this is like an S tier
Yeah.
for me.
Yeah.
I don't
had a lot
understand
of fun
that
with
at all.
this.
Wow.
I look
get
at this
that.
and this might be my favorite of the movies out of Phase 4.
Definitely.
Wow.
Definitely.
The same way you guys are saying that Spider-Man No Way Home is a nostalgia movie, I think you guys are overvaluing this movie because you like Sam Raimi. I feel like this movie is
Are you faulting me for enjoying the direction of a movie?
Are you faulting me for enjoying the characters in a movie?
Yes, I was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so yes, I am.
Well,
you
a
go.
director is necessary for a movie.
Characters are
Nostalgia
necessary
is
for
not
a movie.
necessary for a movie.
Characters are necessary for a movie, and those were characters in the movie.
Sean, don't let me in with these folks, okay? I have no attachment to Sam Raimi. I think this was a solid A.
I don't know. Like, I'm inclined to maybe be generous and give it a B, but honestly, I feel like this movie jobbed out Scarlet Witch. I think that it's confusing if you watch this and didn't watch WandaVision, why she's all of a sudden obsessed with these kids that you don't even know about. I think that the Illuminati was done dirty. I think that
Come on, Marco. I love the movie. You can't deny that.
Yeah.
But it was a different Illuminati. It's not our Illuminati.
All
you
right,
know?
all right, all
I
right.
don't care
all right,
whose
all right, all right.
Illuminati it is.
The Reed scene, what happens to him, still makes my stomach churn. Like it's like, oof, it's uneasy. And I think
got
that's also
crap.
why I like this movie so much. I never felt uneasy from a Marvel movie.
Yeah.
This is probably the
Let
most
Sean finish.
horror-
Hang on. Let Sean finish.
Yeah.
We don't do that on this show. And yeah, I don't see how you redeem Scarlet Witch after this. I just feel like it did. I feel like it did more harm than good. Like, whether you like it or not is fine. I don't think this movie helped anything in the MCU. I don't think it moved things forward in a meaningful way. I think it actively damaged some of the characters that were in it. And I don't think Doctor Strange was good almost at all. Like I don't know where they're going with this guy.
He's the A tier Marvel character right now. He's the
And
new
He's
Iron
a new
Marvel's-
Iron Man.
I mean, yeah,
Well,
that's
I think
definitely
Wong,
true.
Wong might be actually. I think Wong might be the new Iron Man. But
Marco, what's your issue with this?
I don't have too many issues actually. I thought I had fun with it. I liked the way that it toyed with the different multiverses and how we like would get into just get to see different worlds and get to explore that. It felt reminiscent of What If, and I happen to just really enjoy What If. But I think from a character standpoint, America just wasn't interesting. They gave her like a 3-minute backstory and it was shitty. And I just wasn't a fan of that for what the expectation is for her and where she's going to be leading into. Like, it looks like she's going to be a major player, but I didn't feel like I got to know her in this in the same way where something like Hawkeye, I got to know Haley's character really, really well.
Yeah, what's her name?
In Black Panther, Shuri was great. Like, you know, I got to like we got to see deeper into like who this character was, and we got to explore like the some of those complications there. But for this character, it just felt very flat, and I wasn't engrossed. And she just, for me, had she not been there, it'd been the same movie.
B.
Kale, what did you say? A?
Oh, I'll go S on this. I love this film. I think they're both absolutely correct. Everything Sean and Marco are saying, 1,000%
I don't
correct.
disagree. Yeah.
But listen.
Wait, what
I
was
said,
your title?
fantastic
One
movie.
of the reasons why I also like it, like Sam Raimi aside, sort of, is that it is an auteur Marvel movie, which I don't think, or as close to it as we can get, as they'll allow, which I don't think we've ever had. Maybe Chloe Zhao in
Eternals
Eternals.
was that,
Yeah.
yes.
Thor Ragnarok as well.
We'll get there.
Wait, so where were you
No,
on?
the one
with-
before.
Yeah, no, we won't
Before
get
this
there.
one. Yeah.
That's a different phase.
where were you on this, Tyler?
I want to say personally S.
I'm going
Also, my
C.
OCD might be kicking in, and the fact that it's still empty is bothering me. But that's fine.
I'm gonna
we're
average out. I'm gonna say B, so we can average to like an A.
Yes.
I mean, stick to your guns. Like if it needs to average to a B,
No, I wanted to average to an A.
All right.
I think A is where it's landing. Miss Marvel. Let's get to Miss Marvel.
Oh, S tier, bro.
Didn't see it.
No,
It's
Bro, who
really
are you talking to?
can you just fucking watch these things?
No.
We don't do the reviews for the show, so Kale ain't watching it.
Oh, fair enough.
Even if we did, Kale would
True,
he would have something would happen every week.
That D column would be a lot more full if we were.
I think Miss Marvel was brilliant. I think Miss Marvel is one of the best characters that they've introduced to the MCU in Phase 4. I think this was one of the most accurate comics to film adaptations that we've gotten for any of these characters. I think it showcased why a series. I think it might be the best proof of concept as to why these characters should have series. And I mean, it made me and many other people excited to see what they're going to do with her in the Marvels film and beyond. This was an S for me.
It made me excited.
Purely blissed by this.
Yeah, it made me excited for the Captain Marvel sequel, which
Yeah.
Right?
is an S tier feat, I think. I think we're all in agreement for us who've watched this. I think this is S tier. I think this is this was a shining point of my summer, honestly.
Yep.
Hard agree.
I look forward to it every week.
Yeah. Even the bit at the very end where they do the little X-Men little riff. Oh, it
What?
still
Huh?
gives me goosebumps.
That makes it an A because I didn't see it.
Oh, okay.
No, it's NA.
No,
where I would put
that's just-
Catwoman. Rogues,
I mean,
Rogues.
it wasn't culturally relevant enough to get past my biases for me to watch. So
Wow,
no,
you said
no.
that sounded
That's
a
me.
little. You want to reword that?
Oops.
wow, that was nuts.
You made me turn my camera off.
All right.
no, I'm
Can
fine
we
with
just
big
get this
ass.
one out of the way?
Y'all good?
Can we just talk about Thor: Love and Thunder and just put it in D? Let's just.
No, what?
Sill's got an issue.
Yeah, we do
yeah.
probably.
What's? Oh, probably in reference to what Kale was saying.
No,
Yeah,
but he meant
probably.
he didn't mean it that way. He meant like the fucking what is the zeitgeist?
I'm going D. That's really harsh. Shoot. I didn't like it. Damn.
Yeah,
I'm
I
very
can say
comfortable
I
calling it a
enjoyed
D.
Black Widow to an extent.
What?
Thor: Love and
Did I-
Thunder
Yeah.
pissed me
Yeah.
off.
No, yes. Thank you for saying that, Tyler. I feel how I felt about Thor 2 about this. To me,
Thor 2 was a better movie.
What?
I think
Yep.
Love and Thunder was actively bad most of the time.
It felt like it was trying to get me pissed off too.
Yeah, over the top, stupid, corny, goofy. It's the what people say is the problem with Marvel movies as far as like the comedy. I think this movie took that and said, yeah, let's piss everybody off. Let's make everything a joke. Let's make nothing matter. While you're trying to tell this deep story about a guy who wants the gods to save him, but they don't, and his daughter dies, so he decides he's going to kill every god. That's a very heavy thing. And they juxtapose that with the worst humor in a Marvel movie.
Dude
Screaming
wants to
Goats
fuck
guys,
his hammer.
real funny.
Yeah, that stuff sucked. Sucked.
This movie was so jokey to the extent that it made me feel like the matches I have on Tinder after they ghost me. They're like, well, like there's way too many fucking jokes here. There's too many bits going on, including this one I'm doing right now. Like it made me had to come to terms with that. So that alone, again,
I'm remembering now that I was the one that was like, I really fucking liked this movie. This is like A for me. I had a blast with Thor: Love and Thunder. I remember now that we had just disagreements.
on YouTube, Bergtown Music Group said even Hemsworth is pissed. Yeah, Hemsworth was like, yeah, I kind of want to go back to.
He
More
wants
serious
something different because they've played those notes already, and it's like, dude, first Thor, I like that movie, but then they made the second one and they said like, okay, let's make the first one, but let's make it suck. Thor Ragnarok, I didn't like it that much, but everybody else did. Taika said, okay, let's make that, but let's make it suck. That's what happened.
Maybe
Yeah.
to Soap's point in the chat, maybe I have to like watch it a second time because that first one I
You don't.
blast.
Just take our word for it.
I think they they gave Waititi total control post Ragnarok.
Yep.
And while I think that was a good thing to do, I think he shat the bed for whatever reason.
It happens.
If it's that he is uninterested, if it's that he is there for the paycheck or whatever, that's fine. But this was not a good movie. Like they did not do justice to any of these characters.
I appreciate that Tyler tried to say like, all right, let's just put it in D and that's it. But then we all had to just shit on it.
We did
Yeah.
less shitting on Eternals.
Word, for real. Eternals was less offensive to me.
Let's go to Eternals goes to C now.
Oh
No, but can you could put Thor: Love and Thunder up in C. That's probably where.
No, that's a D.
No.
Oh,
I would make it an F. If there were further tiers down, I would put it down
What?
there. Just because
You know
of
what?
the
Make a
look
new
how
column.
animated I am.
Thor.
I love Thor. I love Gore, the God Butcher. I'm a little too squeamish for actual Gore.
Love the Mighty Thor.
The Mighty Thor. Yep.
Yep.
This movie shattered my hopes and dreams.
So
Yep.
we're D, yeah?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm a staunch D.
Fair enough.
Ooh, what? Okay. Sorry,
Next
I'm
up,
watching the
We got
old
She-Hulk.
feet.
She-Hulk.
see it.
Is it She-Hulk Attorney at Law? Is that the full title?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Attorney at law.
So I did not finish this, but it's not because I wasn't enjoying it. I just fell off. I think this was a lot of fun. It got a lot of hate. People were very mad. Those people can kick rocks. She-Hulk is awesome. If you don't understand why she was breaking the fourth wall and you think, oh, that they're copying Deadpool, well, you're showing your ass because that's not correct. Tatiana Maslany, I was skeptical. You guys know that. She convinced me she was the right call, at least as far as I know. She did her thing. And I've enjoyed what I've seen. I can't go as far as to say it's an S or even an A just because I haven't finished it, but I have strong feelings about it that are positive. So I will say B, but if those of you who have finished it are willing to say it belongs in a higher tier, I will go with you.
I will say S tier because that finale episode might be one of my favorite MCU things ever.
Oh, did you
It
like
is
that?
bonkers. Yeah, it is. It is more fourth wall breaky than even the comics got. It went out there. It's in ways I didn't expect it to, and I really enjoyed it for that. Sean, you got to watch that. It's either going to bring you up or bring you way back down.
Yeah, I think I think it's gonna bring you back down, frankly. But
But I like that stuff because that's what She-Hulk is. You know, like I can accept it because that's what the character's about. And I like She-Hulk.
I would say this is top of B for me. Like, I think the last episode brought it. It was a solid A all throughout. I was having fun with it. I was looking forward to it each week. And then the finale. Not that I didn't like it. I thought it was. Inventive. It was definitely different, but I didn't like that as a resolution to like the final big scene. And I think that they could have still played into the fourth wall breaking aspect of it, but this was just a little too tongue in cheek for me for that. And for that reason, it's like probably top of B for me.
Sean, how far did you get in it?
I want to say, how many episodes were there? 7?
I think
8, maybe.
eight. Eight sounds right.
I probably did like 4 or 5, somewhere in there.
Okay. Well, I was gonna say to Marco, and this might be a spoiler for you, Sean. So
It's okay.
Nine.
Do it.
9
up.
episodes.
It's my fault.
I got 4 words for you, Marco. That'll change your mind.
Okay.
Be back in S tier. Daredevil Walk of Shame.
Nah, that's whatever, dude. Like it's hilarious.
It's so good.
It's so good, so good. You know what? That's gonna bump it up to an A for me, actually.
This show actually fucked, and
Yeah.
it was believable. You know,
But do you see it? Like, I mean, not do you see it, but like,
you
Oh,
see
yeah, I
the
know. Yeah, I
clothes
see it.
falling off and like the feet shots. You know, not that.
Oh, I know that. Oh man, Tyler, that's why you're an S. Wow, dude, you always expose yourself. It's like you have to.
It's part of the kink.
It's almost like I'm good at a bit.
Yeah.
You always want to hide behind the bit idea. when you get
My
exposed.
life is hidden behind many bits, layers.
And when we went over to his place, he was like, "Oh, guys, remember, take off your shoes. You gotta like be comfortable." We're like, "Oh, okay, yeah, it's fine."
Trying to see our feet, dude.
I'm
Great.
domesticated.
Better pay me for that.
All
All
I
right,
didn't have a Roomba at the
so
time.
where is this going to settle at then?
It sounds like A. I say S, but it sounds like we're going.
I say
Kale,
bottom
did you
of
even
A.
watch this?
Nope.
No. Okay.
Yep.
You're awfully quiet. I just assumed you didn't.
Y'all didn't hear me say that at the top of the thing.
Nope. Bottom A.
A seems reasonable.
All right, Werewolf by Night. Marvel presents
Kale.
special edition.
I haven't seen it.
okay.
This one I actively want to see,
You know,
Because
but I,
the
I,
reaction-
haven't, I haven't been able to get to it.
I thought you didn't like it. I was going to say, yeah, I
No,
want to
no,
hear
no.
about that.
I'm despaired that I haven't gotten to it.
Yeah. I
This
think
is a
you're gonna
Kale
dig it.
thing. Yeah.
It's
Can I admit something right now? Because we haven't talked about this. So I watched Werewolf by Night. And I watched it after everyone said, like, oh my God, it's so amazing. I don't get it. I don't understand what it was that everybody like. I thought it was like, all right, this is fine, like whatever. Hey, big monsters, Elsa Bloodstone. Okay.
it's the camp. It's
Yeah.
the craft of like how it was introduced and like some of the way the shots are composed, the music plays into it. It's I feel like it's more craft than it is for the story.
And I think it's a very cinema guys movie.
Yeah.
Not
Oh,
that.
like, nice framing. Oh, great technique, cool angle. Like
Ooh, score. Oh, a direct homage to Hammer films. You know.
Sure.
Like, oh, yeah. I really like this. This is an
Same.
A for me.
This is an S for me.
I wouldn't. I could be swayed.
It's got a certain swampy boy in it. So
Oh, there's you showing your fucking.
Oh, see, the thing was that Marco thought it was Swamp Thing. That's why.
Fucking
But
noob.
it wasn't. So
it wasn't. So yeah, a little disappointed. I would have put it in SS tier, but this is just S now.
That'll be the ST tier. Yeah.
I'm gonna go with B. I wasn't that enthused.
So S, A, and a B. Kelly, want to throw a letter out there?
Wow. What kind of
yeah.
crap is that?
W
I
for
didn't say I
Werewolf
was
by
going to
Night.
count it.
There you go.
That sounds like A. We got a lot of fucking A in here. We got to.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
we'll
got-
shuffle the deck a little bit.
We'll fix that.
But let's wrap this up.
And let's talk about a movie that was great but not fun at all. Wakanda Forever.
I happen to disagree with that. I think the movie was fun. I had a
Mm-hmm.
lot of fun with Riri Williams' interplay with Shuri. I thought Okoye was phenomenal. Lots of fun between them. This was a beautiful, brilliant movie. I don't think that S is enough. I think Wakanda Forever is absolutely phenomenal. And there's no way we can end this without it being an S. That's crazy.
I think it is a solid B.
What?
Oh, disagree.
Wow.
No way.
Yeah,
I
think-
I agree with
Wow.
everything that Sean said. But I think it is a top of A.
For me, Riri could be written out of this movie, and the movie would be the same. It's way
That's
too long.
literally not true. There's
would
no way
be.
to have the movie without her.
Use the plot.
Yeah.
No, you could write her out. She doesn't need to be there. You can get rid of them going to the U.S. and you just be like, all right, there's the vibranium thingy that can detect it. The U.S. is trying to invade. Like that's all.
That's
that matters.
fun. That's great.
Well, I think they only added her because they're like, oh man, this is a really fucking dreary ass movie. We need
Tyler.
to introduce that character for Disney Plus.
If
Um,
the way they introduced that machine was that there's just a machine and that's it, you would have gotten on the review and you would have said, okay, but who made it? Why does it exist?
I would
What a
never ask who
MacGuffin.
made it.
What a MacGuffin. You would not be happy with
What
that.
a MacGuffin.
It's still a MacGuffin. Riri
Yeah,
is
of
a
course
MacGuffin.
it is. Of course she is, but she's a MacGuffin with personality.
But like her story doesn't progress either. Like they have to be like, oh, we got to send you back to the U.S. and oh, you don't have a suit anymore because you got to redo that whole process on your own show. She didn't need to be in here.
I like the back and forth with her and Shuri. I think that as much as it was like from a function standpoint to be able to introduce her and then get her into her own series, like to ease people into it, I thought that was successful. Like I as much as there is that synergy, I thought it was done well, and I appreciated for that. But for me, some of the set pieces were just not there. And I think that's what's holding it back was I needed to feel the scale a lot of the time for such an important movie and for the weight that it carried on its shoulders. But I didn't get that sense a lot of the time, and that took me out of it. So that's one of my only critiques preventing it from entering S tier.
The climax is dumb.
Yeah.
Like from all right, here's this nation, probably the smartest nation in the world, and their plan for fighting fish people is, how about we go on a boat?
It's got a yacht.
Agreed.
It's dumb.
What if we got electric powers?
Sonar.
Do those Pokemon rules?
I think Namor is great. I think Angela Bassett's fantastic. I don't think Shuri's believable as a Black Panther.
So so this is standing on A now? Damn, we gotta clear that shit out.
Man, I'm convincing myself to put it into C.
No.
There's
The
no.
more I've
there's
chewed
no
on this
way.
movie, the more I've chewed on this movie since our review, and I've chewed on it a lot. I've liked it less.
Wow.
But you like Doctor? Oh my God! You think
Yeah, I love
Doctor
Doctor
Strange?
Strange. Yeah.
You think Doctor Strange is an S tier,
Doctor Strange
but
and the
Black
Multiverse of
Panther
Madness.
is C?
I say B.
Yo,
I
you're
could be
bugging
skewed
out.
C.
I cannot believe.
I think
you.
it is. I do think
Doctor
it is.
Strange.
I think somewhere. I think because of the Chadwick Boseman stuff, and that meaning you can't have him in the movie. You have to deal with the repercussions of that actor dying, and you have to elevate your cast who maybe should not have or never really planned on being elevated to a starring role. I think that is a lot. and it tried its hardest, but I think it was given a shit hand to describe an actor's death so lightly. But
I think it was given. I think what it did well with what it had to do it with what it had to work with and how it had to incorporate it. I thought that was beyond like respectful for the actor and character, but
Sure.
for the narrative. And while I don't personally agree that Shuri is the best lead, I think it was the necessary lead, and the turn that she's taking, I think, is a more interesting. Is more interesting forward momentum for her. If she had just been like a good guy or like a hero, I'm like, all right, this is mid. Like that's not engaging for me. But the turn and her seeing it was spoilers. We can spoil, right?
Yeah.
Her seeing Killmonger as her spirit, I'm like, oh, okay, we're going somewhere with this of value, and we're going somewhere with this where we're gonna have a conversation in the next film.
And then they go so far that they introduce her replacement already.
What?
Why else would they be like, well, don't worry, we have a new T'Challa. Never mind. So like
He's 6
here's
years
the thing.
old. What the
Yeah,
hell?
We got years.
Dude,
we got
we
years.
have a multiversal war coming up where time shit could happen. Like they have their ins and outs here,
And
especially after
God, I wish I had an opinion.
what was the emotional core of Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of
Here, okay,
Madness?
I'm gonna get there. I'm gonna get to my what I go to a Marvel movie for. Is Doctor Strange the Multiverse of Madness? I was tired after a 2.5 hour eulogy.
It wasn't a 2.5
No,
hour
come on,
eulogy.
dude.
What are you talking
Dude,
about? What movie
the
did
very
you watch?
end of the movie is her saying, all right, the grief period's over. If you don't call that a 2.5 hour long eulogy, I don't know what that
They
is.
spent 10 minutes on
The
that.
whole movie is the eulogy.
How? What
No.
the fuck did Namor have to do with eulogizing Chadwick Boseman?
It was the vessel to have Shuri come to terms with her losing her family. She loses more of her family in this movie.
Oh my
it's another.
God.
You go through 2 eulogies in this whole movie.
Yo, chat, please. I
There's
need help.
2
This is
funerals in
insane.
this movie.
This is insane.
Catherine
But
says,
Doctor Strange, oh my,
Yes,
Doctor
because
Strange.
There was a movie
No.
with zombies and demons and mutants.
Yeah,
and
cool.
Spaghetti men. Like that's
Dude.
what I want a Marvel movie to be.
To be a Sam Raimi movie.
Hell yeah, Kel.
Okay.
No.
I'm with you on that one.
No.
The rest of it, I can't back you up. I haven't seen it.
This is insane. Wow.
I am loving this. This is incredible.
Tyler,
I don't
disagree.
think I don't think I have incurred such slander on this podcast.
I just think, like I think it's shot well. I think a lot of the acting is good. Like my summation of it is a good movie that is not fun.
No. Oh, no.
How are you gonna say a good movie is a C movie?
Because the not fun ruins it, and it averages down for me.
But
A good movie
like,
is like B, A maybe, but yeah.
I can't do
I don't
this
think it's
anymore.
fun.
But you obviously have to engage with films that deal with these kinds of things. Death as like a function,
Sure.
and
Yeah.
and for character development, for a larger narrative. Like just because it's not like
Yeah, we deal with it in
lighthearted
Infinity
doesn't
War
mean
at the very end. Yeah.
no, but it doesn't necessarily mean that it draws away from the entertainment value of it. Like you're being taken through a narrative, right? Like you're being taken through that, whether or not it is quote unquote, not even enjoyable, but like everything is just spaghetti monsters and fucking zombies, right? Like
Whoa,
you're
spaghetti
going.
men.
I apologize.
All right. I'm going to read Catherine's responses to all this as she's written them. She says she built that in her garage with a box of scraps. We need that moment in her own show, LMFAO.
I mean,
In
I'm
defense
excited
of
for that.
that-
Her show. Am I
defense
responding
of
to
that-
each of these? Or
I don't think so.
Okay, all right.
You said it was a 2-hour eulogy. You've said enough.
Thank you, Kale.
Hey, you both have had your time too. It's Catherine's time. In defense of that, they didn't want to bring them to Wakanda to fight. They already fought in Wakanda against Thanos, etc., etc. Tyler, goodbye. But like realistically, it takes a while to deal with your grief. How much more frustrating would it be if she got over the death and everyone else got over it so quickly? No, goodbye. I cannot. It's still fun. Oh my god.
I mean, I wouldn't say it's so
And then
quickly. It's this movie. It spans what, like
Bergtown
5
Music
years?
Group says BP is S tier, but so is WandaVision.
Oh, you know what? I'm gonna argue for WandaVision.
Well, Bergtown Music Group. That's multiple people on one account. There's some number tampering there. That's if it's a group.
All right. Listen, it's 2-on-1. What's the verdict here? It clearly can't be S tier
It's I mean
right
yeah,
now.
That shit better be S tier, bro. No, it's not. Wait, no. I said A. I said A.
Yeah, I think it's A.
Wow.
I'll back you, Sean, to an extent.
This is disgusting. This is disgusting. Like I cannot believe this. This went worse than any of the rankings that we have done, and it's all Tyler's fault.
I dreamed.
You're
to
welcome
have
for
that
the
sort of
context,
reaction.
Sean. How boring would this be if you were like, yeah, no, I agree. Oh, I agree. Oh, that's fine. I agree. No, Wakanda Forever.
Ooh, Manny says B tier.
Sit down, Manny.
I'm with you, Manny. I'm with you. It's
Are
fine.
you guys smoking crack? Genuine question.
I would rank Batman Forever over Wakanda Forever.
Fuck off, dude.
Whoa.
Sean, come back.
Oh. God.
He's not coming back.
damn.
That's it. He's not
I
coming
just
back.
think
He's
it's-
actually done. Oh,
Guys, this is my last episode. I just can't.
Joker moment.
I just can't. I can't. I just can't.
Listeners
Can't.
and viewers, what would you rank Wakanda Snorever? Whoops, Wakanda Forever.
fuck yeah, Tyler.
Sorry,
Okay.
I have opinions. I've been.
So
I've had a lot of
let's
discussions
organize.
with people about this movie. and
Let's
I've,
organize these. Let's organize these because
Sure,
we're gonna
sure.
get into more arguments.
S tier. We only have Miss Marvel.
For now.
Is there anything
What
that
are
can go
the-
into S tier?
Yeah, what are the contenders for S tier that we've talked about?
I think. Well, I think you could probably have a conversation about most of what's in A.
Yeah.
Maybe moving up, but to me, I think S tier should be exclusive to very few things. We got to move stuff down, if anything.
Yeah.
I agree. I think Falcon Winter Soldier goes down to B.
What's that?
I think Falcon and Winter Soldier is a B, maybe
I think
WandaVision as
WandaVision's
well.
a B.
I agree. I don't see why it's an A. That's nuts.
Yeah, do that. It's a high
Manny
B
goes.
for me, WandaVision.
Manny goes Eternals to S tier.
No, fuck
Manny,
off.
S doesn't stand for shit. S is like specialty. Like that's you're confused. Where's Morbius, and why isn't it S tier? From Andre Kunalata.
There it is.
You wanna?
What is that next to She-Hulk on the right of She-Hulk? What is that?
Werewolf by Night.
Werewolf by Night.
Oh, okay. All right.
No, but I liked WandaVision.
Well, you got to
That's
outvote.
fine.
Sorry.
Yeah, you could like it. B
know
is
what?
still stuff we like.
I would bring Multiverse down from A to B.
I wouldn't fight it.
Uh,
I wouldn't. I would give that if we can keep Wakanda Forever from going to S tier. I'm okay with Miss Marvel
I'll
being the
concede
only
that.
S
I'll
tier.
concede that. Sean might not, but I'll concede that.
Look, I've lost all control. So what we're saying is then that Miss Marvel is the only S tier production of Phase 4.
Of Phase 4. I'm okay with saying that.
it seems like that's the strongest contender that
It's the
all of
only
us.
unanimous one
Yeah,
too.
unanimous.
Yeah, and I don't think that's unreasonable.
Catherine says Sean's one bad day.
Oh. Huh. All right. So I think Doctor Strange has to go. It has to.
Agreed.
She-Hulk. I mean, I enjoyed it. I don't know. Like I want to say move it down, but I haven't finished it. And what I saw, I liked. So maybe I would feel like it's an A. I don't know. But again, something has to move to B.
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
I'm okay with that.
Spider-Man or Falcon
Okay.
and Winter Soldier, I think.
No, I like Falcon more than I do like Spider-Man.
I think Falcon Winter Soldier is a lot more consistent than Spider-Man.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
it stays true to the characters that are there.
I also saw Spider-Man for the first time in a 4DX theater, and I got nauseous very early on. So like that could be clouding me a bit. I was getting sprayed on. Like the first scene is that swinging through New York scene, so my seat was like rocking and moving,
Yep.
and I was like,
Yep,
"Yo,
been
this is a
there.
bad idea." The
Been
dude
there.
next to
My
me in the
first-
seat was also snoring instantly, even though the seats were moving and getting sprayed with water. I don't know how he managed to do that.
This is fine. This is fine.
Anything in B
Loki's
that you
too
think
high,
should
if you
be
ask
in
me.
C?
What's in
Shang-Chi
B?
or Hawkeye? Did they get dropped down a bit?
Oh, you can drop.
I like where B is. I would
think B's
say
fine,
in
yeah.
C we'll bring Moon Knight down and we'll bring Thor up.
No.
Nuts.
A yes to the beginning or a no to the second.
All right.
Yeah, I'm cool with bringing Moon Knight down, but Thor is banished. That to me, that's the bottom of D. Like nothing
Yeah.
is worse than that.
Yep.
Do you want to reorganize A?
That'll take us forever.
For
I
me,
think-
Sean, I'll put Wakanda Forever.
You son of a bitch.
Don't do me any favors, Tyler. Okay.
I actually like where we're at.
Yeah, me too.
I think so.
Yeah. All right. This is the comics
definitive
pals phase
Miss
4.
Marvel skewed list.
Begrudgingly definitive
Yeah.
tier list.
Definitive. So let's very briefly just kind of like talk about this phase. I think based on this list, if this is the definitive ranking, that would mean that phase 4 is actually pretty good. I don't feel that way. That's not how I feel about phase 4. When I
Yeah.
think about phase 4, I don't think about, 6 things that are an A.
Yeah.
But I can't deny that there are some things here that are strong. I think when I look at this, I see a lot of building. I see a lot of like setup, moving things forward. Well, not moving things forward, putting pieces into place rather. And I think in some instances that was okay, but I think in others it just didn't work out. Marvel was more experimental in this phase, I think, than ever. I think when you look at stuff like Loki, which I thought was to some degree experimental, or something like She-Hulk, Werewolf by Night, those worked out. But there's other things like What If that's certainly experimental, and Eternals that's very different, but I just don't think they met the mark. What lessons do you get out of this tier list, other than that Tyler's nuts?
I think that I'm excited for. You mentioned the building period. I'm excited for their Young Avengers project whenever that happens, because they're definitely freaking that. That was a lot of what this
Yeah.
this phase was kind of seeding.
Yeah.
Like I think we can name someone from each of these properties that's like a young character that could show up in a if they were to do a Young Avengers type thing.
Almost across the
Moon
board.
Knight, maybe not. Eternals, maybe not. But somewhere. Yeah.
You have a point. So there is a through line of that for sure.
I think as much as a good portion of these landed in A, and we could say they were good, if we were to make this list in comparison to the whole of MCU, these would drop, and I would say they would drop pretty hard. I think this is of the gamut that we got in Phase 4. This is where this exists, but that's only siloed to Phase 4. I would not make the argument for She-Hulk to be an A tier when you have, let's say, Civil War or something, right? Or like a Endgame or Infinity War, whatever. Like those in comparison, not on level playing field.
I wish I had
but-
our tier list of all the other.
I was trying to
Marvel
find
things
it, and
ready. should have it ready.
I couldn't pull it up, but yeah, I think that what they're doing here is solid, but I was more unenthused going into some of these shows and movies than I was in previous phases. Where previously I'm like, yo, gung ho, I'm feeling it, I'm in the mood, let's get it. This was, I'm hesitant and I don't think I've felt that consistently for Marvel properties in the past few years.
Yeah, Tyler.
To that fact, like I skipped a lot of this, and I don't feel like I missed a damn thing. I mean, frankly, up until this Black Panther conversation, and like I was at like a film festival when that happened, and frankly, I sort of wished I was watching Black Panther, like
Have you seen it yet,
for this conversation.
Did you?
I
See
think
it?
you would have liked Black Panther, and I also think you would have gotten a kick out of Miss Marvel.
Yeah.
Yeah, that I do. I do want to watch She-Hulk and Werewolf by Night. That said, like I said, Doctor Strange is my favorite one. I will not watch that movie a second time because I know it won't stand up. I had
often
a
only watch things
tremendous
once.
time in the theater.
Yeah.
There's no way I'll watch it again.
I can name maybe 3 Marvel movies I've seen more than once.
So what I'm hearing is Tyler will bring Spider-Man down one more, just like real quick.
Dude, don't tempt me. I could.
Yeah, I mean that is our phase 4 ranking. I think Marvel has a lot to do in phase 5 to step it up. The list of stuff they have coming, I don't know. Some of it I'm excited about, but for the most part, it's more of like phase 6 and back half of phase 5 that I'm excited about. Ant-Man and Wasp, Quantumania, that should be great. There's cool stuff coming down the pike, but I don't think that this was the strongest phase. I think maybe one day we can rank the phases, but
That'll be nuts.
to me this would be on the bottom end of the phases for me.
Do you want to hear Manny's ranking real quick?
How long is it? Like, is it a whole list?
It's his list in order.
Oh, that's too
It's
much.
on-
Yeah,
That's too much. Okay, yeah, cool.
We're at 2.5 hours right now, Cal.
He tops Miss Marvel and bottoms What If.
Okay.
Don't know why I phrased it that way.
Yeah, he's topping Miss Marvel. That's a little hey yo.
Best villain. Yeah, that's a good one, Manny. Let's do that real fast. Best villain. Manny says name more.
Oh,
I couldn't tell you what the villains were in.
I might have
I guess.
I might have trashed Falcon and Winter Soldier, but Zemo is real good, and so is U.S. Agent. Like, I think that's the strongest points of that are the villains on it.
yeah, those are pretty.
U.S. Agent was really fucking good.
Yeah. I'm
I'm
Kurt
gonna-
Russell Mark, so like
I'm gonna say Namor and Green Goblin.
oh true. Yeah.
It wasn't. Oh my god.
I loved it, man.
What about
Cameo.
worst
Give me
villain?
that shit. Green
Worst
Goblin.
villain?
I can name
No,
3
Corey.
of the worst villains in this.
Feige.
Thor, Taskmaster, and Core.
No, Feige and She-Hulk.
He hasn't
All right.
finished it. Chill.
Worst villain.
Worst.
go home.
You know what? Fair enough. Let us know your thoughts about our ranking. What's your personal ranking? Manny just shared his on our Discord server. Come and hang out with us and do just that.
Let's fight. Let's go.
You guys heard the civil war that happened on this podcast. Let's do it in Discord.
Let me get people on my side.
Oh, buddy.
Dude, we've been at this for 2.5 hours. If you still feel like you need to plead your case, I don't know what to tell you.
No, my case is pled.
No one agrees with that.
The critics would.
With what you said about Black Panther?
Yeah.
Want to bet?
No, we're at 2.5
Guys,
hours. We got to end
let's-
this.
Yeah, come on.
Oh, I can do both. Trust and believe I'm the master of multitasking. All
right.
So, by the way, the movie's got an 84%. I don't see how that equates to a C, Tyler, but thank you very much.
That's not how Rotten Tomatoes works, but it's fine.
Sorry?
That's not how Rotten Tomatoes works, though.
What do you mean?
Is it a good review? Yes. Then it gets in the good category, and that's how it's. I think it's a good movie. I just think it's boring.
Man, you're boring.
Where can you find us, Sean?
Yeah. So help us get to 1,000 subscribers by heading on over to youtube.com/thecomicspals and subscribing for free. Short of that, if you want to help us out, if you're already subscribed, you can give us those sweet retweets on social media. You can let your friends know that you like what we do and how they can find us. Patreon.com/The Comics Pals, where for as little as $3 a month, you can get access to some pretty cool content, and you help us out tremendously. If you want to watch this show live, Twitch and YouTube at The Comics Pals, every single Saturday at 10:15 a.m. Eastern, Thursdays at 6 p.m. Eastern for Pals Pulls. That's where we argue about comics. We review comics, and I would say we're tamer on that show. We just get crazy for rankings, you know. Join our Discord server. Like I said, come hang out with us over there. And that's it. Kale, plugs.
Thank you so much for tuning into this episode of the Comics Pals. You can find me and my work at kaleward.com. That's CALEWARD.com. You can find me on Twitter for how much longer? And Instagram at Toto Into. That's TOTOINTOW. Please go pick up Kamen Rider Kuga, the manga. I lettered it. And the next project I have that I've lettered is Adam the Beginning, Volume 2, that comes out on December 13th.
All right. Marco.
You can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Mr. Marco Enomoto. Please go buy Kale's book, apparently in print only, because otherwise you're not his friend anymore.
You're my best friend.
And I bought it, but the wrong medium apparently. And otherwise, come talk to me about One Piece. That's all I've been fucking consuming is One Piece. And I saw Glass Onion, the Knives Out sequel. Real fun, really, really, really fun. So if anybody's seen that, I'll probably talk about it in the Discord. Good time.
Tyler?
Well, if you want to talk to me about my Wakanda Forever takes, if you have problems with me, you want to argue with me, you want to send me hate mail, you can find me at Sean Soapbox on Twitter.
You don't understand how cool I am with that.
I also understand it might get lost in your DMs there. You know, just
what does that mean?
Someone's gonna
I feel because you don't tweet that much.
That's fair.
Yeah, I'm just saying you're not as active as I am. I'd see it because I'm perpetually plugged in, which is not good for the old noggin. But you can find me elsewhere.
Get opinions like that.
Yeah.
As for me, I'm on Twitter and Instagram only at Sean Soapbox. Yeah, hit me up to talk about help me cleanse myself of this experience. Share with me your correct thoughts about Black Panther.
So my thoughts.
And if you're playing God of War right now, don't spoil it, but let's revel in how amazing it is. Go ahead, Tyler.
If you're also playing Marvel Snap, me and Sean are having fun. So
yeah,
just waiting for them to allow us to play together. But
totally.
Speaking of playing together, Tyler and I are gonna play Pokemon on Twitch after this. So keep an eye out.
It might take a couple minutes for me to get it up. I gotta plug in a couple.
Well, keep an eye out.
Yeah. With that, we're the Comics Pal signing off. Take care, guys.